Hey, there we go. We're doing things differently today. What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals? Welcome to the animation talk show for the week of 12/20/2020. Wow, is it really 2020? It is 2020. Wow, okay. That works out really well for us. My name is Cody Hansel, and today's show is going to be a little bit different from normal because instead of what is, and there's a lot of people, that's the biggest change from normal. Thank you everybody for the follows. Onirev, GF Andrew. Onirev, I love your stream, by the way. Mord78, Beastron, everybody thank you. But today's gonna be, oh god, Javi Arts, a little bit different. Because instead of doing the usual talk about the news of the week and do the short report and all the stuff that I normally do, it's been a pretty light week in general, but on top of that, it's the end of the year. It's the last show I'm doing for the year. So instead of doing all that stuff, instead I got some friends in here with me today. Nick should be getting in here eventually. And we're going to be doing a end of the year kind of review where we're just talking about the good, the bad, the ugly from everything. They're still muted. I'm sure they'll figure out to unmute themselves any moment now. My beautiful, wonderful friends. Thank you, Pirate.
What introduction was that?
Well, you're going to introduce yourselves, Christina. I mean, this woman whose name has not been revealed yet. A lot of stuff going on in the world today, especially this year.
Where are you guys? Are you guys on Facebook?
Yes, we're on Facebook next.
Yeah,
ironically,
Facebook,
right now I'm making a
Messenger.
Facebook post.
Of course you are. There's Nick. There we go.
Hey!
Everybody
Hey.
says Nick compared to me. Hold up. Ooh.
You don't have to. You don't have to be like us.
There we go.
You have a
Now
Zoom
we're
button?
all the same size.
I don't have control. I don't have control of my camera, so.
You don't have this much control, Christina.
Wow, I'm so glad you see your pores. Thank you. I wanted to see pores today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What camera
everybody.
is that? I might need to get one of those actually.
Yeah,
Is it just a regular digital camera?
it's a Sony A5200, I think.
Okay.
I love my camera.
Well, what are we doing today?
Well, we haven't done anything yet because we're waiting on you, Nick, to get through your senior citizen phase and remember how this works.
Yeah, I'm doing a talk show right now. Oh my god, no. Can you imagine? They got a full call.
You like ban him from Discord.
Not yet.
I don't know.
His name is in the Twitch title, and I'm too lazy to change it.
That's it.
All right. Since we haven't done this part yet, everybody who's here, introduce yourselves, and we'll start with who's below me. Ben's below me. Ben, you do.
What's up, everyone? I'm Ben Halstead. I'm a technical director at Disney TV Animation, and I like cartoons. You wouldn't have guessed that, but I do. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Oh, and I have my own Twitch, which I will greedily post right now.
Wow.
If I'm allowed to post links. Am I allowed to post links?
I got you, fam.
All right.
Greedily.
Boom.
Greedily post my link.
I'm gonna post
Please don't use that voice ever again.
Yes. We're so smart.
So,
Christina,
yeah, that's my link.
Christina, it's your turn to
Who's next?
introduce yourself.
Ketchup and taters. Hi, I'm Christina Halstead. I'm also known as Risa Quinn on literally everything you can have a handle on. I am also a technical director at Disney. I work on Big City Greens. Here's my shirt, but it's backwards, so you can't read it. But pretend it's facing the right way, and it says Big City Greens. It's got
It's right
cricket on
on
it.
my screen.
It's the right way on our
Oh, it is? Hey, it's backwards on Discord. Anyway, I also have my Twitch account, and Cody already put the thing up, so there. I also am on Instagram. I animate animals, and I draw animals, and that's mostly what I do in my free time. Yeah.
And I guess we should do it for posterity's sake, but everyone here is here because of Nick. Nick, your turn.
Right.
What? Oh yeah. My name's Nick Mundo. No, it's Nic Parris. I actually work on the show, and I'm wearing the shirt. Now it's so embarrassing. Stranger Things. Oh, and it's backwards.
Season
Hey,
one,
where is
that's
it?
I'm joking. My name is Nic Parris. If you don't know me, I'm Nic Parris. I'm a professional storyboarder. Currently working. Currently working at Nickelodeon on a show called The Casa Grandes, which is like a spin-off show to The Loud House, but it is definitely not its own entity because we have earned our own entity, and it is iCarmody is a little more weirder than Loud House, which I like. And so if you like that kind of stuff, go check it out. And other than that, at Nickelodeon, working there, I stream, as you guys know, and do comics and character design and all that cool fancy stuff. Yeah. Jazz hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Usually they're drawing. I don't know what to do now.
and I storyboard.
Yeah, that's the thing with YouTube videos. Is it looks really boring if I'm just sitting here, but the moment I started doing hand gestures, oh, it's visually interesting now. So a lot of the times I just do this move over and over again. I
don't feel right without my owl. You're right.
Yeah, your owl VTuber.
Oh yeah, dude, that's right.
I feel naked.
Oh my god, you gotta like bring in your owl VTuber at some point next time we do this.
Yeah, probably. Accidental VTuber right here. Didn't mean to do it.
Draws for fun. You probably missed Ben, who is below me, and Christina, which is over here to the side. For everybody who is going to be watching this on the VOD or listening to this in the podcast, links for everybody will be in the show notes. As always, there's still going to be show notes, but mostly it's just going to be the description this time. Not a lot. But this, we're just going to be doing like an end of the year review. Me, a totally normal nerd, and 3 people who are actually professional animators and stuff. We're gonna be looking back at the year 2020, probably mostly the good, but some of the bad, some of the ugly, and we're just gonna talk about it because it's the end of the year and I wanted to do something easy today before I go on a little bit of a vacation. So who wants to start with their first good, bad, or ugly?
I'm like trying to pick up the trash out of
No one. He's like muttering to himself.
What are we talking about?
Looks like I gotta get the garbage out of frame.
It's too late for me. It's too late for me. The garbage is in frame.
I'm gonna go ahead and circle that right here. Some garbage right there. I'm gonna redline that.
You circled
Redline that
garbage.
You circled it on my
Frame.
camera somehow.
It's there. Whatever.
I'll go. Obviously, biggest thing for me was like in the last week, which was I focused mostly on 2D, and biggest thing for me this was Wolfwalkers finally came after waiting for it for like 14,000 years.
Yeah.
Which made me excited, and it was great. And if you haven't seen Wolfwalkers, it's on Apple TV Plus. Fake paying $5 and cancel it before they actually charge your credit card. Watch it. It's good. It's really good. But yeah, like I said, I was waiting for that for absolutely ever. So I'm glad it finally was released in some way, shape, or form. It's from Cartoon Saloon, if you guys don't know.
God, Wolfwalkers is so good.
Yeah,
It is.
Wolfwalkers. It's so easy to just say like that's kind of the best thing that came out this year, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's a really good film.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
I think it is the best thing that came. Like as far as like especially just 2D animated film, and I think animated movies in general, it probably is. I can't think of anything I've liked more. And it's not that like 2020 was devoid of good animated shows. It's full of them, but like Cartoon Saloon,
Dynamic features.
it's just above and beyond. It's such a good
Cartoon
movie.
Saloon, yeah, they pulled out the stops on this one.
I think the only other feature that came out this year was Big Bad Fox this year or last year. I think that was last year.
That was last year, I think.
Yeah, it was last year.
Okay. I still haven't seen that actually. That's the only other 2D thing I
'cause
can
I
think
think-
that came out recently. Besides
Well, I
Clouds.
think feature in general, but I think everything got pushed back to like
Yeah.
December because otherwise Soul would have came out.
Soul
What else would
already
have came out?
Yeah,
Everything
Soul
got
doesn't come out till
So it would have
Christmas.
come out by now, yeah. I mean, it'll be out on Disney Plus in like a
It
week.
comes out on
4 days.
Christmas
5
in
days.
5 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Sonic. Yeah, Drops of
Sonic did
Fun.
come out,
Sonic
yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That came
Sonic
out this
was
year?
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah, I
did
guess
come out
so.
this year.
Yeah,
I
Sonic
was-
was in February. Croods got released on Thanksgiving. I still haven't seen that. That's only
Yeah, I
just
haven't
now on
watched Croods
demand, so
2
I'd
yet.
still have to see that.
Yeah.
Wait, Cruise 2 is out?
Yeah.
Croods 2. Well, Croods 2 was like, yeah, Croods 2 is on demand now.
Yeah.
They did not market that at all. Like I was like, what?
My
Yeah, they did a
Instagram and
little bit, I
Facebook
think.
was covered in like Croods crap
Yeah.
for like 3
Oh.
weeks. I had nothing
Oh,
but
yeah,
Croods
so true.
ads.
Yeah, well, I guess I would have to say then Sonic, I think it was in a good category because I am glad they redid it
Yeah.
and made it look really good. Because like if they released what they had, you know, that horror movie, the nightmare.
The teeth.
Meow. Zoom
Oh
in
yeah,
on
the creepy
teeth.
baby human teeth. Yeah, the
Oh,
creepy human
Trolls.
teeth.
Trolls.
Right when it came out, yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
did like
Trolls
Trolls.
came out this year.
Yeah,
Trolls was good.
Trolls.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
really
that's
good.
true, yeah.
I really
Yeah.
liked it.
Cats was technically last year. That was last December, technically.
Oh, thank God we don't have to talk about it.
Why talk when we can sing? I'm all like, you know the words? I'm like, no.
Viewer count just goes way down.
That can lead me to a bad that's kind of like trickles slightly in the last year, which was that I just was constantly reminded of the fact that there could have been a Don Bluth version of Cats that probably would have been amazing.
Oh
Yeah,
my
would've.
God.
But we got Hooper's Cats instead.
Yeah.
So.
First.
Could you
Just saying
imagine?
that.
Could you imagine like Don Bluth Cats just? But it's. Wait, hold on.
The character designs are out there and they're gorgeous. It never happened because Spielberg jumped ship and like everyone in Katzenberg jumped ship and there was no one left to do it.
Well,
Basically.
fun fact: Don Bluth's Cats already happened. It happened a couple years ago. Actually, it came
Whether
out,
they
like,
just
in
cobbled
the-
together.
It came out in the 90s. It's the thing is, like, Cats is in a weird place. It had to come out under a new name, so now it's called Feifel Goes West.
Thanks, Cody.
It's also a western now.
Now, I'm sad.
And there's only like maybe a couple cats.
Sad all
in it.
over again.
Yeah, I was happy with the. Actually, no, there's a whole gang of cats.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Tiger, so.
yeah. The Tiger and the Gang of Rats was the only inspiration for that joke.
Thank you. You did a good job.
Oh, there were. Okay. Sorry, I think I'm confusing.
Let's see. Chad
There
also
were
said
rats and cats.
The Pixar one with the
Onward
blue
was
guys.
late last year, but Over the
Onward?
Moon was the thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Over the Moon
Onward
came
was
out.
last year.
How was
Over
that?
Over the Moon. I still
Cody
Over the
saw
Moon. I
it.
still haven't seen that because I'm awful at catching up on things.
If you want to know how Over the Moon is, go watch my review on Cody. No, it was fine. Like that.
Why didn't you finish?
Like that's the thing of Over the Moon. Like Over the Moon was a decent movie. It was good, but there's just like some really glaring issues with it that I was like, this could have been better. But I mean,
I just kept hearing it was bloated. Right?
It's
It was mostly
bloated.
just like too much. Yeah.
like if they would have narrowed it down to like a 1 hour special or something, I would have been a lot tighter of a movie. But I mean, in general, I enjoyed it. I mean, I still think you should go watch it if you haven't watched it. It's a lot of fun. Too many animal sidekicks. Yeah, for real. For real. Drops were fun. Like, too many
Five
animal
Never had
sidekicks.
a sidekick.
Yeah, Draws had this whole thing about it. It was really funny. Actually.
Yeah.
So many.
5 animal sidekicks.
The sidekicks had sidekicks. The rabbit had a flea companion. It was crazy.
It was wild. So many things, dude. But if you haven't seen it, just watch it once. And the soundtrack's pretty good. I did enjoy a lot of the music.
Who's next?
So I'll volunteer one. The thing that stuck out this year for me, definitely Wolfwalkers, but I was trying to think like more outside the hemisphere, like both literally and figuratively, and I was like, Dorohedoro really kind of stood out to me. And I believe that is a 2020 release. Correct me if
Yes.
I'm wrong.
I think so.
Pretty sure.
But
You keep talking, I'll Google it.
yeah,
I'm gonna do a Google. Hold on.
Dorohedoro,
Googling
like,
for-
I think what I liked about that anime series is, and of course I haven't followed the manga. I tend to only get interested in things when they're animated. But everything in anime, especially among Western audiences, is kind of judged off. A lot of people will judge things in comparison to Cowboy Bebop, right? And Cowboy Bebop is very bluesy. It's very introspective. And so almost every anime, if you compare it to Cowboy Bebop, is kind of north of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
It's always, it's not as dark
Moody.
and moody. Yeah, it's not as moody. There are certainly ones that are darker, but they aren't introspective like that. Dorohedoro is kind of one of the first animes that's south of Cowboy Bebop. Like it's very distinctly like not only is Bebop is it's, because of blues is a central theme, everyone in Cowboy Bebop has had something bad happen to them, right? It's kind of about coping with your mortality, your flaw, like not so much flaws, but like bad things that have happened to you, and that's just life. Dorohedoro, I thought it was interesting because everyone is kind of a villain, at least in some respect, right? Like they're all flawed characters. They all have a dark past or something.
Kaiman keeps eating people's faces.
Yeah.
It's no one's innocent in that story. Everyone's got some like a dark past or just some friggin' baggage.
Well,
So
Also,
that's-
they all like to die over and over again.
It's very the word that I like to think of is nihilist. It's very nihilist with like that's the word that keeps coming to my head in that show. But it's not totally like you can't, because at that point you do start to wonder like, well, what is the difference between the heroes and the villains? And that seems to be the question that they make you. They sort of make you ask that question in the series, and I think it's really well done. Because there are differences. Like the heroes do care about things, but you don't necessarily know what it is that they care about right away. You kind of have to find out. So
That's fair.
I really have been enjoying Dorohedoro. Looking forward to more.
Everyone loves Noi.
Noi's best girl.
Me included. I love him. Noi is best girl.
I haven't even seen the show yet, and I know who Noi is.
Noi is definitely best girl. She's wonderful. Everyone just has a lot of baggage in the show, but it's fun to and most of them deal with it in a very matter-of-fact fashion, which is kind of fun. Where the Bebop would kind of think over and mull over all their baggage. These guys would just have baggage and be like, "Oops, the baggage is here."
Yeah.
Tra-la-la, and they just gotta move on their way.
Life has literally been invaded by hell, and that's just kind of the way
life
things
is
are.
literally trash for them, and they're like, "Whatever, it's fun."
And if you try to care about anything or fight back, you generally die. So it's become like a survival instinct for most people to just be a nihilist and well, whatever, they're dead now.
What's up?
It's
my
very
problems?
depressing.
Oh, you're here now, my problems? Okay, cool.
But it's also not depressing too. Yeah, because they kind of make fun of the sort of exploration of what is your moral center, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. That's fair. There is no distinct villain because there almost is, but at the same time, it kind of like Ben said, it's literally everyone is like a villain to somebody else in that show in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So isn't that the case? I mean, again, another show I haven't seen yet, but is it Promised Neverland also really dark and kind of depressing and moody?
Oh yeah, that's another.
But there's a clear goal though in Promised Neverland.
Yeah,
there is clearly cat and mouse.
There's a clear good bad there. Also, that show gave me massive heart palpitations. That show that show messed me up.
That's definitely that was a good one.
Dude, first episode I was like, holy crap, I'm in.
Now I have to watch it.
Yeah, that show messed me up a little bit.
That's 2020 for me though, Christina. Massive heart palpitation.
Massive heart palpitations constantly.
In a nutshell. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that show messed me up. It's good though.
This is a question that I want to ask you guys, and I want to ask chat. What was the last movie you all saw in theaters before the closing, the purging, the infiltration of
the quarantine? The quarantine.
I think I was with Juco/Ben and Nick. And we went to go see My Hero Academia. I think that was the last thing I saw in theater.
Yeah, it was Heroes Rising.
It was Heroes Rising in February.
That would have been a great last movie.
Fun thing about the industry, the Burbank industry in particular, because there's all the animators are kind of clumped into this part of the valley in LA. Legitimately, most of that theater was people who all know each other, and it was a big theater, and we all pretty much knew each other in one way or another. 6 degrees of separation, all that, because we were all studio people. It was midnight, and so we were all screaming at the theater because we all were it was a theater full of animators who all came to see the same movie all at once, and we all just yelled the entire time. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Go see midnight movies in Burbank, California. It's a hoot. It's great.
God, I want to so badly.
Yeah, because Promare was a whole thing too. That was awesome.
Was Promare before or after? Premiere was before, right?
Before.
Okay. Yeah. So it was Heroes Rising then. Yeah, it was My Hero then that we saw last.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was
so
definitely
good.
my hero. Yeah.
For me, it was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Gotta go fast.
That movie came out at the end of February, and by the middle of March, everything had gone downhill. I was like, well, okay.
Here we are.
What do we got chat saying? Nora saw Onward
I got
with
it from
the
there.
little bro. Let's see. Draws, we're going to be on for a little while. I don't know when we'll stop. Whenever we get time.
Oh, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Latte Fair, the last movie you saw in theaters was Spider-Verse?
That was 2 years ago.
That
My
was 2
God.
years ago. Which I can understand if you're not a theater person, though, for sure.
I am a very much a theater person. So
Yeah, it's a
I
good
think
movie
it's-
to have
I think
as
it
the
was
last
because-
one, though.
I think because they re-released it after it won an award. I think that's why.
Oh, you're right. You're
Oh,
right.
now I see.
I do remember
We
that
respect
happening.
animation afterwards. Oh, I had it backwards.
Yeah. We can't
My
respect
bad.
it if it hasn't won a reward yet. Or,
Yeah.
Oh, Super
Um,
Broly.
we also can't respect it if it deserves to earn every single award in the book and then Frozen 2 takes... Sorry,
Yeah, we'll discuss that in a minute. That's
Dude, actually, draws for fun. It's not Sonic that unleashed the apocalypse. Everyone says it's cats that
everyone
unleashed
says
the
it's
apocalypse. Yeah, like because cats came out and then they started going downhill fast.
oh my god. Cats
Like, what
did it, draws. Sonic did nothing wrong. He was just trying to outrun the apocalypse, not cause it.
He knew it was coming.
He knew
dude.
what
He's
was
like, gotta go
coming.
fast. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go real fast.
He can run from the end times, but he can't run from himself.
It's like, we're cats. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Oh god.
Lordy.
Choking on camera. That's the first time I've actually seen you choke up your water on like in life because usually I
Actually
just hear
choke
it
the
on
water.
Discord.
Yeah, usually we just hear it.
Usually we're just here. We get the audio experience.
Yeah,
Now
we
get
gotta get
we get the
we
full
gotta get the
immersive.
experience now of me
Yeah.
constantly
The
drinking
4K.
at the worst time possible.
Nick, I don't think we got your good thing.
Well, I mean, just gotta say it. Primal.
Oh,
Wait, are we
yeah.
going good or best? Are we doing best or just good?
Just
Just,
whatever.
well,
Just-
whatever made
Okay,
you
well,
happy.
that stood out to
Primal's
you?
definitely is the one that stood up for me. Because one, no dialogue.
Yeah.
Two, like just amazing shots.
Primal,
And the fact that like every episode had its own kind of like thing that was unique to it. Like, I mean, that like one that felt like a pure horror movie. And it's like, just beautiful show. Beautiful show. But yeah, that was probably my biggest like one that stood out for me this year.
And I love that the
was,
pacing,
Primal.
the pacing
Yeah.
of that show is so different from a lot of other shows, but it still works. You know, it's
I love how it was Mononoke levels of like blood flying everywhere, but it was in a totally different style. Like it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch a bloody show that wasn't necessarily trying to like be a gore fest, but it still like it treated you as an adult viewer of an animation.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
pleased me greatly.
Getting
it never felt
definitely he's got a kind of a
Yeah.
unique approach to his film work.
Dude,
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
never felt cheesy.
Dogo's
Like,
got legit bit in half, and I was like, "This is awesome." Like, the
Yeah.
amount of violence in that show is spectacular.
But it, you know, what's funny? It almost felt natural because that is nature. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
it
yeah.
never felt cheesy.
It feels like
never
watching a
felt
nature
forced or cheesy.
documentary.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how it is.
I mean,
I
all
think-
it needed was a British narrator, and it would have been. And now the dinosaur.
Fucking David Attenborough's like, and now the freaking zombie brontosaurus is chasing them. Look at them run.
Now
He's
Well,
like
the
hiding in the bush there.
vampires.
It's just live action David Attenborough in the
Oh my
scene.
God.
He's just walking through the scene.
We need
that or Morgan Freeman. Oh my god!
I mean, I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
we need a commentary track series of Gendy Tartakovsky and David Attenborough just like commentating over the entirety of Primal.
Now the caveman frustrated.
Yells at the moon.
The female is very attractive to him.
The caveman
There was
resting
confusion.
by the fire, irritated by big T-Rex, pushes T-Rex, T-Rex size.
He's just literally reading this.
I actually haven't drawn
Screen
fan
left.
art of. The fact that I haven't drawn fan art of Fang yet makes my little heart sad. I just realized I haven't drawn any fan art
I
of her.
know. I
I'm
started
sad.
Primal
fan
and I
art.
didn't finish it.
Kind of. Yeah, I haven't done any Primal fan art.
What's wrong with
Okay.
me?
Sad
I
fact,
know.
my dad didn't like it because of the style. I still love him, but it makes it hard.
What? Well,
Your father is wrong.
funny story. Technically, that Loud House
making
short
it hard
is
to love your
primal
dad.
style.
Yeah, it really is.
Everyone's opinion is valid, but his is wrong. So
We respect all opinions, but I'm gonna get your dad.
it's okay to be wrong. It's fine.
I was gonna bring this up, but isn't it crazy how in like the past 3 years it's been like the resurgence of Gendy Tartakovsky? Like everyone knows his name all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Keanu Reeves.
We knew his
All
name.
three.
I'm still waiting for them to put. I don't think they did. Have they put the 2D Clone Wars yet on anything streaming so we can watch that goodness
No.
again?
I did buy it on DVD. I haven't seen it
Is
anywhere.
it not on Disney Plus yet?
It was Cartoon Network that did it. It was Gendy. It was Cartoon Network. I don't know who owns the rights to it. It technically
who-
is it's Star Wars, but I don't know actually who owns the rights because it aired before. I don't know where it belongs. Actually, I'm not
I
sure where they
imagine
put that.
Disney does because Disney, all like the old Clone Wars, like the CG one was also on Cartoon.
Yeah, it was on
Network,
Cartoon
but now
Network.
it's on
Yeah,
Disney
true.
Plus.
Oh, okay. So we just have to wait for them to remember that it existed and how like what a good boy of animation it was, and they should give it back to us so we can watch it again. So, because that show was outstanding. If you guys have never seen, if you guys can try and find the 2D Clone Wars that came out in the early 2000s or late 90s, I want to say early 2000s, because it would be on like the midnight run of Toonami.
Yeah,
That's when I think it would air. So it was like, and midnight run's been gone for 11 billion years.
I know.
So,
I know at one point I was able to find all the animated Clone Wars on YouTube. I don't know if you still can, probably not, but
it's really hard. They're all like chunkied up, and it's hard to
Yeah.
find like
Yeah.
good quality of it.
yeah, it was years ago whenever I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah. So
I think I've just seen the scene with the pounding.
the giant machine
spaceship.
that just murdered like 1,000 people at a
Yeah, the
time.
big old murder machine. Yeah, murder pistol.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have an article up if you guys are interested. It says it's because it's actually not considered Star Wars canon. It's an extended universe. So
Oh,
that's why
Puggy.
Disney might not even be interested in acquiring it.
That's bullpucky.
No.
That is so canon. There's nothing not canon about it. Not that I can
don't know.
see.
Well, because they're saying because it's extended, it's actually not part of the main storyline or anything.
So dumb.
Mm.
That's so dumb.
And then
really
other
dumb.
than that, it might just be ownership, like they're saying, because it is Cartoon Network produced by, Tartakovsky.
It was definitely Cartoon Network. That was the thing. It wasn't like
Yeah.
Disney. It wasn't like Star
Yeah,
Wars
'cause-
produced it. Cartoon Network produced it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because Clone Wars just aired on Cartoon Network. It wasn't made by Cartoon Network.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but the character's ownership should still go back to Star Wars, LucasArts, and Disney.
That's what I
Not
thought, but
LucasArts,
yeah, I don't know.
Lucasfilms. LucasArts
Who knows, man?
LucasArts is long dead. LucasArts does not exist.
Rip. Rest in peace.
Sorry
Lucas.
for the record, for all the youngins, LucasArts was the game division of the Star Wars franchise long before Disney Interactive or any other studio. Long before studios started having producers and distributors. This is like 90s, long ago.
Long
Back
Interactive. Long ago.
Star Wars was still a respectable franchise. eh?
Back when, what's his name? Luke.
Guys,
Darth.
there was a second Death Star. Craziest thing I've ever seen.
Remember Darth Vapor? Oh, he was scary.
Vapor. There's another P at the end for some reason.
Darth Vapor.
Back when the Jedi were building a life star.
In my day, we only had one Jedi.
His name was Ababwam.
Some Zoomer walks into their grandpa and says, "Shut up! I love the Last Jedi."
It makes a lightsaber sound.
I think the day I actually die is when like someone's like, I don't like these animatronics. They look fake, and I'll just like turn to dust and like blow away in the wind.
You get Thanos snapped that very instant. Just
I'll just get snapped, dude. That's me finally dying. Again, that's why I loved Mandalorian, because we actually had like animatronics and stuff, and that made me very happy. You could touch it and it was there.
oh my god,
So
it would be so great to get. I mean, like, what all animated series got announced for? I guess just Bad Batch, right? Like, that's the only like upcoming Star Wars animated series that I know about.
Animated? Isn't Visions animated?
Oh yeah, because that's the anime. Yeah,
I think
that's the
Visions might be anime. Yeah.
that's the anime. Like, it's a what's it called? Whatever none of the stories connect. Anthology. It's an anime anthology. Series. Yeah.
It's gonna be like Enter the Matrix or what was the one for Batman or whatever? They had another one for.
Oh, where they have shorts, dude. That's dope. Yeah.
I think Visions. I think Visions is an Animatrix style collection of things, or like Love, Death, and Robots. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Was Love, Death, and Robots this year? Or was that last year?
That was
last year.
Last year.
I know it was last year because we keep putting off watching it as a group.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, we need to watch
said we were
those.
gonna do that before it came out, and then we never did.
We're bad at doing things.
We've gotten better now.
2 weeks, we watched Wolfwalkers
2
and
Fridays,
Klaus back to back. We're getting.
We did.
That's a record and a streak.
It is. Yeah.
Combo.
I was gonna say that my bad was that there was no animated feature coming out that I was looking forward to, and actually I have to redact that now because I just remembered that I became obsessed with Arlo for like a week because of that one clip, and I guess I'm looking forward to Arlo, but I can't think of anything else outside of that that I'm looking forward to that's 2D.
Arlo looks
at the
so
moment.
sick. Oh my god, Arlo looks so sick.
That was gonna be my bad and slightly confused because I couldn't think of any other 2D films, but I guess Arlo will count. It should count as one, and I don't know if there's anything else besides that though, outside of that one. What's the Gendy one, or what was it called? The one I think that is Bad Batch. Is it?
No, that's not Gendy.
Gendy's is the unicorn.
Unicorn.
Warrior,
Unicorn. Yeah, that one.
Is that Netflix though?
I thought it was Netflix.
I think it's Netflix.
I think it's Netflix.
Okay.
No, It's HBO Max.
No, is that a film or a series? Is that a film or a series?
HBO Max. Okay.
Is that a film or a series?
Also,
Yeah, because everything Cartoon Network is starting to go to HBO.
Rogue Wolf Girl, thank you for the follow. But yeah, it's HBO. It's HBO Max. I remember that from the article. We covered that. God, like 2 months ago now. It's been like public knowledge for a minute. But
there were only stills of that though, right? There was no.
I think there was just the one promotional image. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was just a poster.
Oh, for Unicorn,
okay.
Yeah. Which,
dude, it's like I was watching an interview. He seriously has like 5 things going on at once. It's nuts how much he has going on there.
Gendy's
He's the Favreau of animation.
Yeah, and then Popeye's coming back. I'm excited.
Go.
Popeye's coming back in development.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Well, I feel like there's a proof of concept. The proof of concept was years ago, and then I kind of forgot about it. And I guess in a way, Hotel Transylvania kind of moved like that proof of concept. So if it was the proof of concept that they ended it on because it didn't move right or whatever, Hotel Transylvania
was,
didn't work.
They thought current generation because Sony and their infinite wisdom. They thought the current generation wouldn't be able to relate to Popeye, like they wouldn't get it. So I think that's why.
Can we relate to Dracula more?
I know.
That would be a consideration you'd have before you greenlight it.
I know, right? But
Christina,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's not about relating to Dracula. It's about literally everybody in high school relating to Mavis.
or just being outright horny, whatever works.
Well,
for you.
Hold on.
I think Hotel Transylvania already made its money before Popeye Test came out, which is why. Because they were just making sequels at that point.
I thought the Popeye test was back in like early 2000s.
No,
like before like 2010.
No, it was like 2013, 2012, 2013.
I think I want to say it was after Hotel Transylvania 1.
It was.
When
really?
Popeye Test came out. Yeah.
I thought it was older than that. I feel like I was in college still when they were talking about that thing.
Like it was. That's why it looked so good. It was so pretty. I was like, dude, what? But yeah, that was like 2013. I remember watching it at the Doom.
You know, maybe I'm thinking it was both. Maybe I'm thinking it was after a Cloudy. Maybe that's where I'm mixing up my my timelines.
Maybe.
So it was definitely after Cloudy.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Unicorns Up
Cloudy
Your
was
Tree.
like 2009, I think.
The first or the second? First.
The first, I think. It was really early. The second one,
we were still in art school when that was out. Yeah.
The second one came out in the teens.
Yeah.
Ben's like,
yeah, looks like Cloudy was 2009. I was already out of college.
Nailed it.
I was still in college.
Ben's like,
I've been trying to
college.
You okay?
He's like, yeah.
Isn't that weird? We're older than Nick, but we were still in college. Lol.
I was a very determined young lad who just got out and learned nothing. Thank you, Art Institute.
The past like 10 minutes, I've been quietly trying to find the example I have in mind for the bad thing this year, and I can't find it, but I'll describe it. There was a Disney marketing short that came out. It was kind of like early Christmas season sort of thing, and
I remember that one.
It was going around Disney TVA and stuff, and everyone was like, "Whoa, it's so cute!" And it's kind of like this story of a short little story of a girl who, I guess, wants a toy, and she gets like a toy Mickey Mouse or something, right? And
she gets like a Mickey Mouse plush from her dad.
Yeah,
and then they go over all the different. It looked like it was Laotian. Like I couldn't tell where the girl was from. It was southeast Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
And she was excited about all the like cultural things they do for the holidays, and like one of the things she got a Mickey Mouse present. And then like she gets older and like she's trying to teach to her granddaughter something, and her granddaughter's like, nah. And eventually the granddaughter comes around and like does it for her grandmother, and it's like a touching moment. And
gets another Mickey Mouse doll. I know.
Or she fixes the Mickey Mouse, her grandmother's Mickey Mouse doll, I think.
It really it's got me on a couple of pet peeves, and one of the biggest ones that hit me right away was what I always call swollen head syndrome, which is when you design a child with a head that's like 3 times the volume of a grown adult, and then you put them next to each other in the same scene, and I'm like, how did no one see this? So this adult picks up this kid, and this is just big like horrifying bobblehead.
Remember, Ben, matter cannot be destroyed or created, merely changed. So all the matter,
so all that volume goes down into the body as you grow older.
She picked her up by her head. It's like a beach ball.
Head, and little legs just,
and also just the way they sort of shoehorned Mickey Mouse into the story too. I was like, I hate
I literally, Ben, I hate to like poo-poo on you, but I literally found it in like one.
How did you find? I couldn't find it.
I just looked up 2020 Disney holiday short.
Oh my god.
Here, I can also put the link in our chat, and you can decide if you want to put it into the.
Put the link in the chat.
That whole like the papers with the rubber band things. He's like on the string. He's like
the string thing.
I think most of the people at Disney
Peppy Sylvia.
Yeah, most of the people at Disney TV seem to like it. So I didn't want to like burst anyone's bubble, but in my mind, I was.
No, she did have. I sent it to our Discord conversation.
I kind of just hate everything.
It's there.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's her head's just really big. It's a really, really
big. Huge. What the heck?
Yeah. Give us a second, chat. We'll share the
I think Mickey's trying to get away from the head. It's so dark and cold.
It was just it was like, I don't mind if you tell a Christmas story about Mickey. That's great. There's a lot of good Christmas stories about Mickey, but to sort of shoehorn like this product placement, like, hey, look at this happy family that bought our products that you should also buy if you want to have a good Christmas.
Yeah, inside that link chat. Yeah, inside the link, there is the video. It's about a 3-minute short, and congrats to the people who worked on it. Worked very hard, and I'm sure it's got really nice lighting. It moves nicely. Just the character design is off-putting. It'll still get you in the feels, but it'll you have to like look past like the weird like anatomy going on.
There's only like 1 or 2 scenes where they're in the shot together, I think.
Which is funny because it kind of goes back to I think I was listening to yesterday where I was in a Wolfwalkers panel yesterday, not in, but I was listening to a Wolfwalkers panel yesterday from Studio Nucleus in LA, and they were talking about how there's they were basically complaining about how characters they were talking about the what was the word? There's a word for it, for the sameness of CG films right now coming out of Hollywood.
Oh.
And there's a word for it. I can't think of what it is. But basically, it was basically like they're saying like you could have a character in this film walk into a scene of another film, and then those two characters and another character could be there, and that those two characters could walk into the set of another film, and they would all look like they belong, regardless of what studio made them.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how that's it.
Definitely noticeable in the 2000s. There was a period where like everything CG movie they all looked like Pixar.
Doesn't matter what studio made it.
Pixar.
Didn't matter the studio that made it. Like characters from Storks could have walked into like Cloudy, could have walked into Hotel Transylvania, and then those are all same studio, but like in the same, there's like a few Universal and Nickelodeon films
like
that could have been
B movie could have walked into like Incredibles, could have walked into. I mean,
I just think
not that the
Linguini,
terrible, but
Linguini from Ratatouille could have walked into Onward. It was so weird.
Oh yeah, anyway,
and then he did.
Yeah,
he did. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy crossover.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like he just changed his skin
Linguini,
blue
what's up?
and gave himself longer ears. It's so weird.
I just like literally had the meme of Kylo Ren going more, and someone just has a blue slider on Linguini, and they're like more.
The Willoughbys. I did like the Willoughbys.
Yeah,
it's weird. So
I didn't see the Willoughbys.
I liked it, but I feel like there's a lot of people I know who liked the way, like, loved the way it looked because it was different and style different, but they didn't like the story. Like, it's weird.
Was it kind of like Trolls where they had like a felt, like, doll-like feel to it or something like that?
Yeah, but even their like shape language was like unique. It was different. Like it.
Yeah, I think a lot of
people just didn't like the story.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to the lack of shape language in modern things right now. Like CG has to be the same shape.
Yeah, like Adam's Family, I wish was better, but I know.
That was.
It looked good though. Like it looked cool, but I heard it was terrible.
I love that it followed the old comics, the original comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The modern humor somehow didn't really like click as well though, because it probably wasn't modern humor; it was executive modern humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just haven't
put the pop music remix in here.
Yeah, like, hey, how did it test? Good enough. All right.
The kids will totally get the hip dog of the scene, yo.
Yeah.
Green light. I'm the executive.
I liked Wednesday's design in particular. I thought she was.
Yeah, I think everyone loved Wednesday's design.
That was the one that followed the hardest, I think. I mean, they all kind of followed their original comic designs pretty well.
Yeah, they did. But I think if you were to take Wednesday and like trace her outline and then put it next to the old Wednesday, it might be like super close.
Yeah, hers was pretty close. Yeah.
How are you doing, fellow youths?
Hello, fellow children.
Fellow kids.
Hey, children.
Hello, children. What's wrong?
Oh my goodness.
Let's see.
Are we on bad or good?
We're on
I think we're just flippity flopping around right now.
Yeah,
chatting, but bad. If you got a bad thing.
I know one my chat kept saying that was bad, and I kind of agree because I did watch all of it. Was Hoops? It's that Netflix one that looks like.
Oh, I heard
it looked like if. To me, it looked like if Rick and Morty and Bob's Burgers had a baby.
That's
the
exactly
design
what it was.
me, because like it looked like Rick and Morty, but like they had really long legs and they had like the Muppet faces, if I remember correctly. And I was just like, "What is?" I think I only watched it because I had nothing else to do. I was like, "Why am I still watching this?" But yeah, it's pretty bad.
These two things.
How far did you get into it?
I finished it. and then I was done, and I was like, "Why did I do that?"
It was pretty bad.
Literally
I
done.
Stop watching it. It was
It's pretty bad.
I watched it 3 more times.
I did.
Weird. I have it on right now. It's so weird.
It's like I can't stop. I know.
Weird. I just bought merch.
We still have Bob's Burgers reminded me that we do have the Great North or Frozen North coming up. That's coming out on Fox, I think. But we also had Central Park, which I still have to watch. And for someone who loves musicals, I feel like a lame ass for not having to watch that yet.
Same, dude.
But now that I have Apple, I let Apple Plus stay for a month just so I could I didn't have to rush through a week of no. I just look. I already knew I had to watch Central Park. I was gonna watch Wolfwalkers times. I didn't want to cram it all into 1 week, or 5 days or whatever. So
if all they get out of us is $6 and we get Central Park and Wolfwalkers, I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah. Also, there's a couple of nature
I'm not complaining. You got to pay the animator somehow.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and Wolfwalkers, like the panel yesterday was pretty rad, and it was cool to hear them talk about it. So, but Wolfwalkers again, best thing I think this year for me at least, because it was 2D and it was animals, no 2D. So
yeah, Wolfwalkers. I still want to watch Wolfwalkers again,
Primal.
and I want to watch Wolfwalkers again and think about like northern versus southern Ireland and see if like how much of a metaphor that was. Because after we watched it, I was like, huh. This feels like a story about North versus South Ireland, and like a message about them coming together.
They didn't really seem to mention anything like that, though.
It's symbolism.
No
metaphor. Okay.
But back on hoops real quick. These two things have no correlation, I promise. But I distinctly remember, like, I moved into my apartment. I watched the first 2 episodes of Hoops, and then I went out and bought a 5th of Jack Daniels. No correlation, I promise. But I watched 2 episodes of Hoops, and I was like, I'm done. Whiskey, you say? So good.
I could think of a bad.
Yeah,
a lot of shows are done for like Evers, maybe, probably. So there's that. There's that.
Yeah.
A lot of shows I haven't even watched yet, but I guess I'm still sad because I'm gonna watch it and be like, oh, it's gonna be Firefly all over again. While I'm watching, be like, but there's no more now. Like I come in really late to a fandom and then get to share in the sorrow.
They're rebooting Firefly, supposedly.
Yeah,
Are they? They said that years ago.
They said
they said they were going to continue Firefly years ago. Now they're talking about just rebooting it.
It's just a flat out reboot,
yeah,
which means possibly what happened in Serenity is not even a thing anymore. So we'll see what that.
I feel like it still stands up fine. Like I'm not sure.
They probably have to recast. I'm guessing that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it means they're going to start it from the beginning, where things haven't.
Well, I mean,
yet.
like even if they were going to continue them, maybe like a lot of the cast members are like, nah, I'm good. They're like, all right, we got to reboot.
Hey, Nathan Fillion, I can still be the captain of this shit.
Unless
like, are they going to get Joss Whedon to do it again? And he's just like, I'm going to make my same show a second time.
unless the ship has been like given to a new generation, I'm not sure how they would be a reboot and have the characters still be in there. So they're just too old to play the same characters. So, and part of the good thing about that show was the way that all the characters interacted. So if some of the characters are either not coming back or missing, then the dynamic that made that show cool kind of is weird.
It's gonna interrupt itself.
Yeah.
So that's not animated at all.
Yeah, if we're talking about like really good things ending, I think we have to do the obvious two that Cody and I always talk about.
Yeah,
Rise of TMNT.
Let me lie to myself.
Wasn't that last year though?
Let me lie. No,
it was this year.
Oh, this year. So did Glitch. Glitch came out on Netflix this year.
Yeah, Glitch Text still isn't technically canceled, but it's
go and watch Cody's interview with the Glitch Text creators.
Yeah. Plug.
It's really interesting.
Josh Fun is like TMNT. No,
yeah.
Man,
it's so good. I know the
That's so unfortunate.
Did Tangle finish this year? Was that this year that the Tangle finished? Or was that last year?
Tangle did finish this year.
Tangle finished. DuckTales.
Yeah.
Did it like end like Tangled or was it canceled?
Tangled done.
Yeah,
it's done.
Very done.
Yep.
So she got her haircut again, or
and they found the fan base right as they were ending.
Yeah. Like the last
everyone was
season.
Like, "What show is this? This sequence is really cool." And everyone on Tangled was like, "Oh,
guys,
where were you?
We needed you before."
It was because of the spinning sequence. Everyone was like, "This is so cool." I'm like, "Where were you for the 3 years?"
Yeah, they're like, "What show is this?"
What was the first time?
The first time that I noticed it, and was the one that got me interested in the show, was the scene in season 2 where they go to that big tree and like Rapunzel starts singing the like anti-song and her hair turns black and her eyes turn black and everyone's like, this is Entangled? What?
Yeah.
No, it's kind of sad because the people who worked on that show were really proud of it, and like we'd see kind of like
It's so good.
the crash tingle of their hearts every time the show wasn't mentioned for anything.
It's so
Yeah.
It
good.
was just like they worked so hard on that show, and it just like that show got not enough attention.
All
And it
the
really
time.
kind of showed off what Mercury style rigging can do.
Yeah,
what
what Mercury
Zoom
does
Harmony
do.
can do. You know.
Yeah.
Mercury's ridiculous.
Mercury
Like,
is
So
absurd.
good.
Between Tangled and like Hilda and everything else they worked on, I swear to God,
The Ghost and Mala and
the
McGee.
Ghost of Molly
Also.
McGee.
Ghost is the Ghost.
Wander Over Yonder, right? And the Mickey shorts.
Yep.
Wander, yeah, and the Mickey shorts are both theirs. Yep. The first season of I think Lion Guard was also theirs, and that got switched.
I swear to God, if the Tiana show is at Mercury Filmworks, I'm gonna be upset.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm
Unless
not
it's frame
sure
by
because
frame. I don't know.
here, not only just that, but it's coming from
Could be.
feature animation. So for it, I don't know. We don't know. I don't think anyone really knows how they're running those shows, especially
Okay,
us,
that's
the
right.
TVA, because we're not told anything about features. So I don't know how they're running it. 'Cause that's not coming
I'm
from us.
guessing 3D if they're gonna have a budget. I'm guessing CG. That'd be my guess.
I don't know what it is going to be. The other three are definitely CG. That one, I don't know.
I was just like, I swear, if she transforms into something, I'm gonna lose. Tiana's gonna stay
Sailor Moon
Tiana.
Monster a Day, like Princess Tiana show.
Like every episode, she turns into something else.
Princess
The
Tiana,
frog.
like the Tiana show is just the Emperor's New School all over again, where they have to repeat the gimmick of turning him into a new animal every episode.
Please no.
I like the
But
Emperor's
yeah,
New School.
was it Draws for Fun though? TMNT is getting a movie to conclude the story. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that's what the movie's for. So they will get to
Nora,
finish their story.
Nora Pen Zero Part-Time Hero was also indeed that was also the first season, like Lion Guard. The first season of Pen Zero was Mercury.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Who did?
Pen Zero was actually not a bad show.
No, it wasn't. It was fun.
Pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah, I just heard it was just a nightmare production, right?
It was very complicated.
Fire.
That show was
Christina actually
intense.
worked on it a little bit.
I worked on like a couple episodes, and that show was intense.
Yeah, because I actually watched quite a bit of it.
Yeah, that was a very intense show.
Did
A lot of work.
Taking a rigged character and then changing it into
Over
a
and
new,
over and
completely
over
new
again.
character every single episode, often with like flowing clothing on there and stuff like, and rigging that, it's crazy.
That show is
that
Yeah.
sounds?
No, I know
That
the
was
second
wonderful.
season. Yeah, I already know the second season of Turtles was cut in half. But yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling they're gonna have to find a way to end it in the movie because I think that's what they're gonna have to do.
that was the movie still
I don't
greenlit.
know.
Yeah, the movie's still green.
Well,
still
for
in
Turtles,
production.
yeah, it's going right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still making the movie.
I don't know.
I see little talks about it here and there on Twitter. It's nothing. They're not showing off anything yet, but like every now and again, I'll see like JJ Conway or someone just be like, "Yeah, here's a thing. We're still doing it." And I'm like, "Cool."
I think it's
Hey,
happening.
I'm like, "Cool. You can numb the pain, but you can never take the hurt away."
Can we also
Yeah,
talk
'cause-
about how? Oh, go ahead. I was going to change this
Oh, no.
a little bit.
Go for it.
Can we also talk about how Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse was like, I made this and it's Spider-Man multiverse like formula. Like I made this,
Takes
and then
it.
live action Spider-Man
the
just like
past.
takes it and is like, I made this.
I mean,
Oh my god!
Well,
Now we're
that's
getting
like
live
this-
action multiverse Spider-Man.
It's gonna be so anger-inducing and so frustrating.
yeah, I can like you're taking a look at the like.
Whenever everybody is head over heels about the multiverse Spider-Man movie live action, and I'm just sitting here screaming Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Well, to be honest too, I was talking about this recently when I was streaming. I like Far From Home and Homecoming, but he is taking the story of Miles Morales, like the best friend, all that, like that whole
Yes.
dynamic. That's
Yeah.
from freaking Miles Morales. Like that's his story, and the fact that because I watched deleted scenes from the first Spider-Verse, and I don't think it was just because of time. The roommate was supposed to be more involved, like in Spider-Verse. Like he was actually supposed to talk and stuff because I saw deleted scenes. And it's like, I don't think this is because of timing. It's because Homecoming just came out. And so it would have been
Interesting.
almost very similar. Because like there's a whole scene with like Miles' roommate talking. He's like, yeah, what are you going to do now that you're Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, that didn't make it into Spider-Verse. And I was like,
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm kind of annoyed.
Because they were competing with each other, technically, different studios and everything.
It was
No,
different.
they're both
studio.
Sony, right?
They're
Not
both
at the
so-
time.
No,
right?
no, it's Sony.
No, that's right.
Animation and
Spider-Man
Sony.
alone is Sony.
Yeah, they share it
But
with Disney.
Was it the same time? Because doesn't Sony have to do one Spider-Man a year to like keep the franchise?
Yeah, but like I think the live action ones are shared. It's not just Sony, but so they contractually they still have to do a Spider-Man every year. I think it might have eased up now that they're sharing him.
Yeah.
So I think because I haven't heard anything coming out for 2021 Spider-Man related.
Well, wasn't that?
Oh
wasn't
no!
that Spider-Man?
Isn't that the vampire one? That vampire one I think is coming.
Oh,
out
more.
Yeah. More Mimbo.
Yeah.
Mum.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
you're talking about
Yeah.
the one with
The vampire guy who's like
Sad-
reverse Batman.
sad boy.
Yeah. Morbius.
Yeah,
Morbius.
Thank you, Neon.
Sad boy.
Thank you, Neon. Yeah.
Sad boy over.
That's a Spider-Man property. Yeah, that's how they got away with it with Venom too, because Venom's a Spider-Man property.
Oh, I see.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
so
Who's that?
as long as it's Spider-Man related.
Who's that actor? What's his name? I always forget it. He's Mr. Nobody. He's in Blade
Isn't he the
Runner
Joker?
2049. He was the Joker.
Oh wait.
He was the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Jared Leto?
crap.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, there we go.
He's
Jay Leno?
a bit over.
No, Jay Leno.
Yes,
Jared
Jim
Leto's
Carrey.
a bit
We're getting there.
overplayed for me.
We did it. Jim Carrey isn't Spider-Man. We got it.
Jared Leto's a bit overplayed for me, frankly. Just saying.
I like 30. I like 30 Seconds from Mars. That's all I need of him.
You would. I'm gonna judge you for that of all.
I like my
That's the
screamo.
ugly.
Leave me alone. I like my screamo. Let me live.
the ugly folks. No.
Let me leave my college years. Give me my college years and my screamo. Thank you.
Give me back the mid 2000s. That's all I want.
Let's see. Ugly.
There's been a decent amount of ugly this year.
I mean, yeah, I think I almost don't want to talk about the ugly because the whole year was kind of hideous. So,
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about anything from like the movement of March, where most of the entertainment industry, except for animation, fell apart, and animation had to go through like a huge transitional phase where everybody was.
I think the only negative that animation took actually was what happened recently, and that was kind of related to the fact that it was an overarching company losing lots of money and not so much a studio losing money.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point, yeah.
So it wasn't really
Because I
quite
can't really
that
think of too many layoffs at other studios. It was mostly
No,
Yeah.
most studios got better.
Yeah, Netflix
And for
has
a
been
while,
hired
it
out the
wasn't-
wazoo.
Yeah, Netflix. I mean, a bunch of people got hired at Bento recently. Bento's looking for
Yeah.
people like crazy.
Bento's
So
hired.
there has been actually a lot of hiring this year for animation. Then
Yeah,
there's
Nick
the one
is-
Cooper
Nick is
moment,
hiring too.
and then but that was again related to an umbrella company that's massively hemorrhaging. That's
Mhm.
not related to the studio itself, even though the studio took hits. So
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
insane. That's
it
just,
is.
That's just so crazy to me. Because I can't think, and I've talked to you guys about this before, but like, I can't think of like a hard failure that Disney TV has had this year. Like,
Not any. I can think
Amphibia
of.
has gotten a bigger fan base. Owl House came out the gate with a pretty good sized fan base. Big City
And they
Greens is
maintained it.
ridiculously popular. Like,
Yeah.
Big City Greens is the most popular among kids. Like I think it's like 7 to 12 or something like that.
yeah,
We're
and that makes
getting up there. We're getting up there.
and that makes perfect sense.
So.
It's just
Draws for Fun, we're talking about some recent layoffs in the industry that were kind of only from one studio specifically.
Disney and like all of Disney's like overarching groups had huge.
It was actually pretty much all of Disney took hits, but some studios, some parts of Disney took bigger hits than others.
like ESPN. I think it's ABC. That's also Disney.
ABC took a bunch of hits. Hulu
National
took some hits.
Geographic. Hulu.
That took hits. Pretty much anything that had to do with the television or entertainment divisions that were previously untouched by the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because before it was just the parks, the hotels, the travel getaways, the cruises. Yeah. Those are the things that really took the biggest hits, and that was where the money was hemorrhaging from. But it did hit Disney eventually in a way that the studios, both feature and TVA, but a lot of TVA took a big smack.
The really unfortunate part about
that was recent.
The really unfortunate part about it is like whenever I was doing like the research for the talk show that week, I kept finding articles about it, but I never found articles that mentioned, you know, like the TDs or the artists or anything. It was just like this executive.
Yeah.
It's like,
they're not going to mention the workers that got pulled out.
Can you believe this executive has been at Disney for 30 years is no longer going to make his like $500,000 bonus this month? Wow.
I will refrain from mentioning the specifics, but there are very hard workers, and there was it was across the board in the way that didn't make sense, but that was out of the control of the people who care and the people who are a team. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
so,
usually, honestly, it just comes to money and numbers. They usually just look at that.
Yeah, the cuts came from above and not from the studio itself. So there was no time to pick and choose, so to speak.
Yeah, negotiate or figure out who.
Yeah, there was no negotiation about how that was done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No one saw it coming, unfortunately, because there was no warning.
Well, you all didn't see it coming, but I mean, the higher ups, the people who watch the money go up and down. Well, that's also
a lot of them didn't see it coming either, from what we've heard.
Surprisingly, there was a lot of people who did not see it coming, and that's why it was so sudden, because it literally it was like a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's one of the good things about like Netflix and everybody else hiring really hard right now is that all those people had a place to go, or probably found a place.
That's what I was about to say. The good thing about it is that the people who have or will be looking for work soon, everybody's literally hiring, and people who have left recently have gotten picked up by studios almost instantaneously. They were out of work for like a week and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Before getting picked up for shows such as the Bob's Burger movie or Central Park or a couple of the bento things, Netflix as well. So people got picked up. It's fine.
I keep forgetting.
We're all going to be okay.
I keep forgetting we're getting a Bob's Burgers movie.
Oh yeah, that's still getting worked on. That was getting worked on next to us at Disney, actually, in that little industry spot that we were in. So yeah.
See, for some reason, whenever you said it like that, I pictured like those elementary schools that got too big too fast. So like you had the elementary school, but then you had the little trailers outside.
A little trailer on the side.
Dude, I was in one of those.
That was my first.
These are legitimate buildings that like Disney was leasing out floors for a building. Bento had like 2 or 3 floors in another building. Insomniac had pretty much the entire other building, with the exception of like a Crunchyroll America that was over there for a while.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff in that whole complex. That whole complex had a whole bunch of different studios. Hasbro was still in there somewhere.
You guys remember that Crunchyroll originated the Crunchyroll original anime that came out? What was that called?
God of High School? Or which one? God of High School?
No. It came out of actually like.
What did you say, Cody? I think that's probably the one.
Onyx Equinox.
Yeah,
I think that was it. Yeah, I think that came from that studio.
I'm interested in watching it. I know it's American built. I know it's American based.
Spice Guardians. Yeah.
Spice Guardians.
Or whatever it was, their studio was basically right next to Disney's lease.
Yeah, Chat's got the one I'm thinking of, Spice Guardian.
I haven't heard of that one. How did I miss that?
Yeah.
Did it get canceled? Maybe it got canceled.
I don't know, but I know that they weren't in that studio when we left. I think they'd already left the building. That next door building before.
I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, High Guardian Spice. Okay.
No, it's not out yet.
High Guardian Spice. Original release to be announced. Yeah, it's not out yet.
Okay.
I wonder if it's still happening.
High Guardian
Sounds
Spice
like it
is an upcoming American animated streaming television series. The program is produced by Elation Studios, and was originally slated to be online streaming site Crunchyroll's first original content. The show was originally set for release in early 2019, but was delayed.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
a
what
big
happened?
delay.
Red
Wow.
flag, baby.
Big delay.
Wow.
Yeah. That is a huge delay. Oh yeah, there's a good Wonderful World and Mickey Mouse came out with slightly longer shorts, and they're all great.
Oh my
Dude, they're
God,
so funny.
dude.
I lost my mind how funny they are. They're
If you
so
haven't
funny.
seen the Mickey shorts, just shut up.
The new
stop,
Mickey shorts.
Go to Disney. I mean, go watch all of them. Go watch the new and the
Yeah.
old Mickey shorts.
Yeah,
right after
the
the
new
show.
Mickey's slightly longer shorts.
I know, dude. I know so many people who are like, no, I just didn't like how Mickey looked in that. And I'm like, dude, it's the funniest thing on TV right now.
Please don't waste my
so
time
funny.
by not watching that show.
Paul Rudish has done an amazing job with it.
Paul Rudish.
You must
is
now get out of my
ridiculous,
face.
man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
unbelievable talent from
that
man.
show is very good.
It's so
any
good.
any recent Disney memes in the last like year and a half, 2 years, guaranteed 90% of them are like Mickey shorts.
I mean, if you guys remember from like 3 weeks ago, just that face of Disney, that face of Mickey going.
Crowd nods in my
Yeah.
head. Throws
He
away
gets his gift slapped out of his hand.
What the?
Yeah, he gets the thing
He throws
slapped
it
in the
away,
garbage.
dude. He throws it away. He's like, what the fuck? The what?
It's such a
It's so good.
and then a bunch more came out like unannounced. Like Nick was like, oh, a bunch of them came out. I'm like, wait, what? Like
Yeah,
they
they're
just
all out.
kind of like
Yeah,
tumbled out
they
of
were
nowhere.
dropping them. They were dropping them over the course of a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So there should be
so
like
many.
6 now. How many are there now out? Of the
I think
longer
there's
ones?
8. Yeah.
8.
8?
Pretty sure there's 8.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I've gotta
good.
watch 'em.
If you guys haven't seen them, go watch them,
Yeah.
please.
I've
Please.
watched the
with me.
cheese one, and I've watched the one the gift slapping with the creepy
The
robot
house.
one.
Yeah.
The house
Pizza
one.
House.
I haven't watched the other
House.
6.
What's the code?
Oh,
Code.
Oh yeah, the code.
just don't think about how Goofy's teeth work, and you're fine. Just don't-
There's no science there.
The code.
No. There's no science anywhere. So
Tell us more about the code.
if you guys haven't watched those, go watch them. That is a prime example of really good new age 2D that completely works with the themes.
Hilda season 2.
People often say that
No,
Mickey
that's
shorts are
season
rigged.
The season 2.
Halstead
No, that's
haven't
season
watched it
2.
because
No,
they're
we haven't.
degenerates.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, we could have said something earlier that would have had chat like, what? Because they haven't watched Turtles either. You haven't watched Turtles.
Yeah, chat spoilers, please, for like
Thanks for the
Hilda
follow,
or
Borno.
like Mandalorian. Just don't say words. Just give people like a week at least, please, for anything.
What?
At least.
Been
Oh,
a bit
no
longer
one's
than a week
saying
for Hilda, though.
Rise of the TMNT
Yeah,
has been
yeah,
canceled for
right.
6
Yeah,
months.
it's canceled.
Christina Halstead, what
I'm
is your-
saying, as a general rule, give people at least a freaking week to get through some content.
Thanks for
Don't
the follow,
Oh, no.
Megan.
Like
No one's saying
12:01 in
anything.
the morning.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah, no.
spoiling anything. We're just razzing you. We're just
I know.
please watch Turtles.
Look,
God.
okay, look, I have PTSD from being spoiled, like the worst PTSD possible from being spoiled. So we don't. I have a thing about spoilers.
Yeah.
So
Nick and,
I could still.
both Nick and Ben were there for that one, so that was
Which one?
walking in to go see Infinity War, and someone just
Oh,
opened
yeah.
walking out talking about the ending of the film before as I'm walking into the theater.
That's right. That sucks.
Big,
Yeah.
big mad about
Mhm.
that.
Same with
Yeah,
the Han
'cause we-
Solo spoiler. The same thing happened.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were
Big
just getting our
disappointing.
popcorn, getting ready to go in, like snack time.
Yeah.
I'll do that
Well, and
place
then, so
whenever
that,
water doors.
and after that, I would start wearing headphones to movie theaters on like opening night, so that I just blast
Wow.
music so I couldn't hear any ambient noise around me because I did not want that happening again. That was
I mean-
poo poo. I did
Why
not
do
need that
people
happening.
Do that crap, dude. I hate that people.
Wait
do
till
that.
at least you're out of the freaking building. before you
Exactly.
talk about
Walk
it.
out of the
Walking
theater.
in,
It was
you
your
go watch
opening
the-
night. Who does that on opening night? Like, what the
Car's
hell?
right there.
People were spoiling Mandalorian at like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was. I woke up in the morning and they're like, "Spoiler!" I'm like, "The hell is this?" Actually, I also got spoiled for Force Awakens because I woke up that morning and someone's like, "Pfft." I'm like, "Really?"
Hey, one second, guys. One second, guys. Hey, chat. Don't bring up Twig, okay? I'm still recovering from the emotional disaster I was after seeing the Twig episode of Hilda season 2, and I'm gonna need you to stop.
What did I just say?
Me and Nick.
They're just talking about the characters themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did.
But me and Nick both messaged each other like the day after we finished the show. We're like, dude, the Twig episode got me crying.
Yeah, I feel like cried like a little baby.
Oh my god, it was so sad. Christina, you
Nacho got an extra hug that day. He hated it. I'm like,
Your cat's not a hugger.
He's one of those like he hates it, and then I put him down and he does the tail quiver like, oh, father hug me. Not like he's happy. He's like happy about
There's an
it.
animal that dies, isn't there?
No. No spoilers. We're not talking about
No.
talking about
No
it.
spoilers.
Spoilers.
Don't ask about it. Don't talk
it just
about
made me
it.
very
We'll catch
sad.
up.
Very sad.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Sad stories.
Yeah. No spoilers.
And
It's
also,
just-
chat for the record, I was trying to see how much we could make Cody cry during Klaus. I'm sad.
Yeah.
We only got a little bit. I was waiting. I
Yeah.
was expecting a little more. I'm sad.
Klaus got me a little choked up at some scenes, but it didn't full on make me cry tears.
Freaking song kicks in with the happy moment. Fuck.
Actually, I honestly the hardest I cried at Klaus was actually the very last scene. Was actually broke me. That movie broke me right there.
Yeah, the scene that got me.
That was the worst cry for me.
The scene that got me the hardest was whenever she was like, "That's my name. Can you teach me more?" And I was like, "No." My little heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't help that they made all the children in that movie exceptionally adorable. Margot being
Girls
like
were
the
funny.
cutest.
For people
But,
talking
all
about
out. I'm
avoiding
not being bad at
spoilers,
spoilers.
y'all are bad at it. Look, Klaus
I'm
has
gonna
been out
agree with
for a
that.
year.
With draws.
I didn't
just
say
talk
that
about
for the
Hilda.
record. Just
I
saying
know.
the last
Talk about
thing made me
Hilda.
cry.
That's what I'm
doesn't say
talking about.
anything.
You didn't say any specifics about specifics.
Yeah, we just said we cried, man. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
That's my
I
life.
cry every day.
Yeah. I just
Neon!
cried.
Delete that. I have no
What-
mod
what?
controls here. I have no power here.
Did I not mod you, Christina?
You didn't.
All right. That's the one
I
place
have no
that you
power
don't have
here.
Power. You guys are
I
mods
hate it.
in my own Discord.
That's
where
not
you
that
can
bad of a
leave me
spoiler.
around.
You have no power here,
Yeah.
Gandalf
It is
Greyhound.
kind of the end. That's kind of the end of the.
Oh my God.
Although, in Neon's defense, I mean, Klaus has been out for a year now, right?
Yeah, Klaus-
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. To be fair, it's been out for a year. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You guys had time.
Yeah.
You had
I kind of
time.
draw the spoiler line after a couple of months at most.
Fine.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's
That-
fair.
That being said, I'm not going to spoil anything for Christina and Ben about turtles.
Well, I mean, it's not anymore. It's not any more spoiled than what like Twitter's already blasted out at me.
Dude,
So
Twitter has done nothing but show off the most absolutely awesome animation and clips.
That-
in the show.
yeah.
It's so good. Oh my God.
the animation is stunning. The animation is absolutely stunning.
Oh,
So don't get
good.
freaked out. There's 4 turtles. It's like, oh god, you said.
Oh no!
And they have a friend.
What about Venus though? You
Her name
forgot
is
Venus.
April. No, shh.
Yeah, Venus.
April.
I do dig the designs of that show. I like blocky designs.
Oh, it's
Makes
so
me happy.
good. It's so sick.
Which is weird because I don't like blocky designs in CG. Case in point, like early Clone Wars, where they look like they were made of wood.
Yeah,
Don't
Clone
like
Wars
it.
started looking better once they got the texturing down a little bit better.
Yeah, the
And
whole
the
wood
writing.
thing threw me off of that show.
Well, that's the problem with any CG not textured correctly. They all either look like toys or cutouts. or like-
Yeah.
Nora, yes, Klaus has an art book. I just ordered it from a local bookstore. I'm going to get that with my Wolfwalkers book. So, yes.
Yes.
Klaus's art book came out months, though. It was like out like 3 or 4 months after the film was released on Netflix. It took them a while to release that art book. I'm not.
Yeah.
I guess they had to make sure there was like a market for it, I guess.
Probably.
Fat Tony. I remember Fat Tony from Turtles.
I
Fat
don't
Tony.
remember Fat Tony from Turtles.
I remember Fat Tony from Simpsons. I'm old.
Yeah. And also it's from Gallery Nucleus. In case
Yes,
people are
Gallery
looking.
Nucleus. Yeah, Gallery Nucleus has the art book for Klaus. If it's not on Amazon, they also have the art book for Wolfwalkers. If that's
Yeah.
not on Amazon,
It's all on.
which I think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
It's all online. They have lots
Yeah.
of signed books and art and all types of stuff.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Gallery Nucleus. You can get when directors and people come to the gallery to do panels or shows or whatever, they will sign 1 billion books, and those books will stay in their inventory until they are fully sold out.
Yeah.
Hey, Micah.
So,
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Micah.
Micah.
it's
Um,
Micah.
God, what was it? Oh yeah. Speaking of art books, the Castlevania art book comes out next year. For the
There's a Castlevania art book. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
like
That's gonna be good.
I remember reading the description of it. It was like the description said like, art for seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Castlevania.
I was
I'm
about
like,
to ask.
or season like 1 through 4 of Castlevania. I'm like, wait a minute, season 4 is not out yet. So just kind of as like a fun thing, I tweeted at Samuel Dietz and I was like, hey, since the art book comes out in June, and there's obviously gonna be spoilers for season 4 in it, does that mean season 4 comes out before it? And he didn't say anything. He just liked the tweet. So I'm gonna read too deeply into that and say I did it. I figured it out.
Is season 4 the last one?
I don't know. It could be, but it seems like they got a lot
It might
cover
be.
in season 4.
Yeah.
Like season 3 was a lot of setup, but they still had some good payoffs in a lot of ways. But season 3 was a lot of setup for some stuff that could be crazy in season 4.
I didn't watch.
I mean, a lot of
Speaking
crazy
them,
crap happened at the end of that series.
it was wild.
Yeah.
Some stuff happened. So
that season.
I am a little curious to see where they go with that. I did not watch. What was another one? God of something.
Yeah, Blood of Zeus. Blood of
Yeah.
Zeus.
Blood of
Leon was
Zeus.
just
That
asking
ain't
about it.
good.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say that. Like,
It's fine.
okay.
You
I
can
know,
watch it.
like we were talking about it. I
okay.
know we were talking about like it seems like it was done by like more like their B team, right? Like not
Yeah, it
like
definitely
top
felt like it.
notch.
Mm.
I don't like the coloring style as much in that one. I think it's like it's almost too saturated compared to like Castlevania. Like looking at the preview, I'm like, this hurts my eyes just because it's very. I mean, I'm also not a person who likes a lot of saturation,
Mhm.
but like it just was really bright looking to me.
Yeah.
So.
Blood of Zeus has some good elements to it, and like the writing and the story was pretty strong. I just
Oh,
didn't-
really?
Yeah, like it was actually fairly strong, especially if you're into that mythology. I just wasn't a huge fan of like my biggest thing was the animation and some of the editing choices were really weird, and the sound design was also weird. There was a lot of the times where like punches and stuff just didn't like sound like they hit, which is crazy after watching.
I just imagine a punch was being like a duck squeak. It's like what?
Crazy.
It's the cartoony bonk sound.
Yeah.
It's just crazy after watching Castlevania and everything on Castlevania being so on point.
Dude, the sound in Castlevania is wonderful.
It's guttural, man. I love it.
It's a good sounding anime.
But as far as the people in chat who are like, I don't normally watch anime, like that's fine at all. I don't
Go
watch
watch
a ton of
Castlevania.
anime. Watch Castlevania.
Castlevania was damn good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say watch.
Also, it's
like if you're the
heavily
type that
American.
doesn't- Yeah, if you're the type that doesn't watch anime, but you watch like a lot of people are like, I don't like anime, but I watch Cowboy Bebop. Like that's the same vibe I get with Castlevania.
or I don't like
people-
anime, but I watch Avatar, like kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a better comparison, probably.
Yeah.
probably because they are both like American made. Yeah.
And then speaking of mythology, real quick, I know this isn't. It's technically animated though. There really needs to be an art book for Hades. That's all I'm gonna
God,
say.
it does. Oh my
Needs to be
I
an art
knew
book
one of you
for
two was
Hades.
gonna bring up
It
Hades.
needs to come up. We're on mythology. It needs to be a book.
the art in Hades is so good, and Hades the game is so good, and I just maxed
I want an
out.
art book for Ruiner, but that's not as widely talked about of a
That's
game.
not,
Really
yeah,
wasn't.
unfortunately.
Ruiner didn't land
Ruiner
like
was a
Hades
cool
did.
looking
But
game.
it was a cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by
But
the
you
way,
got that one art thing.
chat, if anybody has ever seen that really cool Ruiner gif with like the flashing thing on the helmet and like the bopping and everything, that was Ben. Ben made that.
I don't think many people have seen it. It's
I-
I've seen it float around a couple times since.
Have you? All right.
Yeah,
Mm, it's out there.
yeah, it's out there.
There you go.
But yeah,
Oh, are you posting it or something?
no,
No, I think it's just.
Oh, you're just like, there you go.
I was shouting out my friend, shouting out my homie. Yeah,
I don't know where. I don't have a bookmark of that. I should
I would
actually.
have to go digging your Twitter to find it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Way
a
in
ways
there.
back
It's
there.
like what, 2
Way
years old
back
now?
when.
3 years old now?
No, less than a
No.
year.
Less than.
No, it's at least a year.
Long ago.
Go check your
Time doesn't mean anything anymore.
Go check your
so I
go
don't
check
know.
your Harmony file. I'm curious to see when you did that because I feel like that was more
I've been 37 years old for 5 years now,
Yeah.
so
That's what it feels like.
yeah.
Yeah, there was no birthdays this year. There's no birthdays this year at all. I don't even know what's
I
going
didn't
on
age.
anymore.
Except I did miraculously got a lot of silver hairs out of nowhere, but I sure as hell didn't age.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm getting more grays.
Silver hairs are taking over.
I pulled a gray out of my beard a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh,
Dude,
no,
I got one in my
it's
beard.
happening."
Is
Yeah,
it
but you're
starting?
5, Cody.
Is that your
You're
first gray, Cody?
I'm 26. What's happening? It's not my
You're
first
fine.
gray. It's not my first gray, but it's like the most recent gray I could think of.
Yeah.
Well, the hard
I mean,
thing
I've
though
had-
is like,
to be
is
fair,
it
I've had
age or
grays that-
stress though? Because like
It's
stress makes
stress.
grays too.
Stress
The
me, yeah. No, I've had
changing.
grays. I've actually had changing. I've had grays in high school. Like I've had silvers since high school, but now like I have 11 billion silvers. Many.
My buddy Mackie, he's straight silver foxing on the side of his head, and he's 24.
Oh, is it called Peppa? He's got the pepper sideburns.
Some people like
He's younger.
24.
Way younger.
wow. Yeah, no, some
24,
people salt and pepper really
You're
early. Like
legit Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
like
You know.
I
To be
hit the
honest,
salt and
that's what I
pepper.
want. When I get older,
Yeah.
I want like
Salt
the
and
Mr.
pepper.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
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 I hit the salt and pepper right about like 32, 33 is when I started like actually going hard on it. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, I guess. I don't have any crow's feet yet. The face is still okay. It's all just right up in the hair.
I love the visual imagery of like you have like Ben and Nega Ben, and the Nega Ben is just this white and gray stripe.
Yeah, just right down here.
He wears the hat backwards. He's like, what? It's me.
He just always has the brim down where it's covering his eyes, like in that
Yeah.
one emote he made.
And he's like not chill at all. It's like, oh my god.
Well, I'm just like, he's just exactly the same. He
Ben,
just-
post your-
every now
post
and
your-
then he
post-
says something slightly more irritating.
Ben, post your emote in chat. I don't have it.
My email
Yeah,
now.
I have it.
Post your freaking emote in chat.
You didn't sub to your hut no chuck.
He's
That
not
would be
subbed
kind of
to me.
redundant.
How it
Well, that would be
actually
kind of redundant if you think about it.
there it is.
Yeah,
Actually,
there it is.
Cam actually gifted Juco a sub, so actually he is subbed to me now.
Yeah, I'm actually sub to my own wife, and paying
Yay.
money out of our bank account.
Go back into
the bank
your-
account.
Just like, okay,
Only
and
now.
back in the account.
Only now it's with the prime tax on it. The Amazon
Yeah, it does have the
Prime
prime tax on it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or like Twitch taking some of it.
Rip that $1.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Twitch deserves it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Amazon's not the richest man on the planet. It's whatever.
Since we were talking about Powerhouse stuff, and our buddy Patrick Stander works there, I'm trying to think of what the Knights of the Light Table are working on lately. Do
I
you
don't
know?
know, but Knights of the Light Table has been killing it this year. I mean, Starlight Brigade.
We could legit just like DM and be like, Patrick, what you doing?
Oh my
What you
God.
up to?
Because why didn't you tell me you could have talked to Patrick and got him on the show? That would have been so cool. You let me down.
He might have. He may have
He
done
might
it
say
too.
yes. He's a pretty busy
we
guy,
might-
but yeah, maybe.
He is really busy. 'Cause he's in charge of
Yeah.
like at least 2 animation teams.
No,
so.
I imagine so. But that would have been dope. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, we can talk to him, see if maybe around the launch of the next Castlevania, maybe he'll be open to do some
Yeah.
chitty chat.
Yeah, later on in the year when things are a bit more, whenever the news starts ramping up next year, because I feel like we're gonna be in
Yeah.
a bit of a dead zone for the next couple weeks, which honestly is fine.
I mean, because the
It's been a
holiday,
busy
yeah,
year.
it's been a weird timeline.
I believe,
Wait, what happened?
I
What
believe,
happened?
The universe.
What happened?
I believe we do have a few things coming out in 2020 New Game Plus, which is what people have been calling 2021. 2020 New Game Plus.
That means it's gonna be harder.
Yeah, I know. But we get to keep all of our items from the from the last year.
What? My COVID vaccine? Okay. Well, I mean that's good technically, but
That's honestly
my crippling anxiety.
that's the best thing we could get out of 2020. Honestly,
It is. That's about the best we're gonna
It's
get.
about time. But geez, no, like a couple of shows I know are supposed to be coming back early 2021. Like, I mean, Amphibious still has to finish their season 2. I know that it's
Yeah.
not quite done yet. I think it's coming back in February is what I heard, but there's no confirmation on that yet. Not from any official sources. And like,
I'm excited for Owl House to start up.
yeah,
Our
like
house should be
yeah, that's going to be, I remember Disney put out that big tweet about, Disney Afternoons coming back summer 2021. And it's going to be like Amphibia season 3, Owl House season 2, The Ghost of Molly McGee,
Molly.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I think there might have been one more. Oh, and Big City Greens. Like, they announced all that, like, confirmed summer 2021. So we know that's happening.
Yeah, if we're talking earlier, and I swear to God, I'm not a furry. Beastars is starting back up.
Yeah, Beastars is coming
early
back.
2020.
You shouldn't have
That's
to
what it's like. I'm not a furry, but I want.
They canceled that.
No, it's coming. Dora Hidoro, isn't that coming back?
I haven't
think so.
heard.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, I know are we supposed to get we're supposed to get Shield Hero back. We're supposed to get Hero
Promise
back.
Neverland's coming back. My Hero's
Promise
coming
Neverland's
back.
coming out, or I think Promise Neverland is either spring or winter. I think it's spring.
Mhm.
By the way, before we get too off topic, I want to put an obligatory press out for The Ghost and Molly McGee. It's really cute. It's a good
I
show. You
can't
guys are
wait,
gonna like
dude.
it.
Everything
Y'all are
I've
gonna
seen-
like it. It's cute.
Everything I've seen from it, I'm so excited.
And Big City Greens has to finish up their season eventually.
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 Are Casa's still going?
Casa is still a thing.
It's like, am I still getting paychecks? What's happening?
I don't know.
Guys, I'm
I think
bored,
the episodes are airing now. No, it's weird because like I don't get my schedule for our release days, but yeah, it's releasing new episodes now. So some episodes I've worked on are airing, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's cute.
And if you guys want
someone-
to
go ahead. I was gonna say someone actually like illegally posted like half of my episode on Reddit.
Oh no!
It's like, yeah, because my supervisor said he's like, dude, it's like half the episode. I was like, I'm like flattered and like, what the heck at the same time?
Wait,
Yeah,
like
meal
fully
ticket-
animated?
Yeah, it's a meal ticket because it aired on TV, I think, and so someone recorded and put it on Reddit. But yeah, meal ticket is like half the episode is on Reddit somewhere.
Are you, Nick? Are you on the upfronts for that?
Yeah.
Did they put board art on the upfronts?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Warner Brothers. I'm finding out Warner Brothers is the only people that do that. I think
That don't-
Where
that
they
don't-
do
that don't
put 'em up?
front. Yeah. Because there's a
that's
few.
good.
Every show I've noticed where they don't put the board artist in front is a Warner Brothers property,
You
which
know
I
who
don't
else?
know why that is a
That's
thing.
ghetto.
But
Some other companies don't do upfronts.
Yeah, I'm trying to
because,
remember. What was the other one?
Hilda doesn't have upfronts for their story.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Streaming is. I don't know. If,
Streaming probably
Is that-
handles it differently, though.
I think streaming handles it. I mean, because streaming, I know for a fact because Juku and the nature of our job is to get the show ready to go out and all the different versions of this, that, and the other for streaming or for international. So yeah, streaming does kind of change up a little bit how things work
Yeah.
and how the show is formatted.
'Cause
So
whenever I was doing 13 Days of Hilda, I had to I would watch the upfront for the writer, and then I had to go all the way to the credits and
to find the
click the
storyboard
watch
artist.
credits button, because if I'm skipping
Yeah.
to the middle of the credits, Netflix, of course I want to also tell you I have to watch the credits, and not play next episode. Complaining about Netflix, but then I had to go all the way to the back and pause it for the storyboard artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the not up front. That annoys me.
Yeah. Hey,
That's literally my job to put those there.
Yeah. Which, by the way, as a reminder for everybody, if you wanna find people to teach you things about the shows and stuff that you love, just go to the credits and start Googling names. You want to be a storyboard artist? Go
And
to
start
an
following them on
episode
Twitter.
and Google a storyboard artist and follow them on Twitter because they post their stuff all the time.
Our
it's
background
that easy.
artist Steve Lotwaite, who just won an individual Emmy for background design. He's on Twitter and he's always posting here's progress of the background, and he'll always talk about Steve posts stuff like that all the time.
Dude,
Cassandra has done some stuff like that too.
there was one crazy long Big City Greens thread that I saw, and it was I think it was a layout artist or a background layout artist, something like that. But they were just going through each and every iteration of this shot of Cricket standing on a standing on the foot of a trailer in front of the little trailer park and constantly showing like each iteration of like changing the awning and like moving where
that was most likely Steve. That was probably
like,
Steve.
Moving
Steve,
where like a red wagon was to show like, okay, well now he's framed up here and now it's pointing here and now your eyes are going here and also here's Cricket Green and also here's this.
Yeah, he's also done with them with interiors. That's definitely Steve.
Yeah, it was so much, but it was so cool to read over and read through.
Yeah, BG design is magic. It confuses me and terrifies me at the same time. I just want to do the moving parts. Just want to make the thing,
just as you said
I just
that,
want to make the thing move.
BG design is freaking magic. What a superpower.
Yeah.
That's what I was responding. I was responding to Micah. I'm just like, I don't understand BG design.
No, see, GF Andrew,
it doesn't break NDA if it's already released.
Yeah, if it's unreleased, then it's a problem. But if it's released, it's not a problem. Yeah,
he was releasing like season 1 stuff, like after season 1 was done. Like that was there was no NDA breakage there. It was fine.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
If it breaks NDA, it gets taken down pretty quick these days.
Yeah. Everybody, they have teams at every studio watching.
Yeah, because Disney probably has all of our Twitters like in a format or something like that, just watches.
Yeah.
So
like, it's just such a useful tool, and it's free, and you can learn so much from it.
I go on.
And who knows? Like they might do like what Nick and these guys do and stream. And if they stream, you can literally watch them work and learn from them. Or,
a lot of them do stream actually.
Yeah, whether it's
especially during the pandemic, just to have human contact. A lot of people started streaming. That's why I started streaming, because I was like, I want to talk to people.
So many of you guys started streaming just because you were bored.
It literally, I was bored. I'm bored and I want to draw. Also, streaming kind of gives you like laser focus on what you're doing instead of like getting distracted by like YouTube and the internet in general. Or so it helps you focus because someone's watching you, so you have to keep drawing. Otherwise, they're just going to leave.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, definitely. And I did this long before I knew any of these guys, with the exception of Ben. I emailed a storyboard artist from like DreamWorks Feature that I really liked, and he emailed me back and like gave me pointers. This was back when I wanted to be a storyboard artist when I first got to LA. So they will answer you. I wrote to Brad Bird and he wrote me back before I moved out to California. Like they will get back to you eventually. And Twitter makes it that much easier. I actually wrote a physical letter to Brad Bird and he wrote me back a physical letter at some point, like less than a year later. That's cool. Like if they can, they'll get to you. And Twitter just makes it that much easier.
I imagine Christina with like a quill. Dear Brad.
Dear Brad.
I flickering candle next to her.
I am truly a big fan of all of your work. Pure masterpieces, I must say.
Yes.
The
Incredibles was.
He actually gave me back. He wrote me back on Incredibles letterhead due to the little picture of Remy, and then also gave me a signed lithogram of like Remy and Gusteau from the movie. It was pretty nice of him. He didn't have to. It was after they'd won the Oscar for Ratatouille.
Bradbird.com.
Yes. Mike is posting Brad Bird emails. Brad at bird.com, the man behind Iron Man.
You know, it'd be funny if those were real. If those were real, that'd be hilarious.
Like when I was calling those Jerry Springer hotlines last night.
Oh my god, that was funny. By the way,
we're getting dumber. We're watching Jerry Springer now.
Chat, don't watch old episodes of Jerry Springer and call the hotline. Don't do it. Don't do that.
Lesson the hard way.
We learned a lesson last night.
My travel actions.
I didn't learn. I'm calling them after this call.
I already got on speed dial. Let's go.
I mean, it probably isn't even recent, dude. It's got to tap that recent button. It's right there.
I can't.
I guarantee it's the last thing you called.
I can't believe what happened. It was so funny.
Do you take Visa?
Let's see. But yeah, back to the point. Yes, talk to people on Instagram. They will talk to you back. Another real quick anecdote, and I hate that word. I always say anecdote instead of anecdote. I actually did start talking to a guy who worked on Klaus. He worked on the lighting for Klaus, something that I've been trying to figure out for a year. And he, without breaking NDA, he basically like kind of, I asked him how it worked or if I was close, and he couldn't break NDA, but he kind of like gave a thumbs up, sort of. So it was like
onto something there. So.
If you talk to them, they'll talk to you back. Most of them are generally happy to talk about their craft with people. Yeah. So literally, like you're not going to embarrass yourself because you said hi on Twitter. You're fine. Go talk to people. Break out of your shell.
Yeah, the worst
Just
thing-
do it. Just do it in a kind of polite way. I feel
Yeah,
like
but don't be
people-
disrespectful. Don't.
Yeah, well, like
I
don't
have
your first
disrespectful
introduction.
stories too.
Yeah, don't be like your first introduction. Be like, hey, reference me for a job. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. That's
Yeah.
that's the bad way of doing things. Or hey,
Right,
your art is trash and you just want attention. Can you help me? I legitimately got an email that read basically as much, but in like 4 or 5 paragraphs,
Oof.
and I did
And
not
then- and
answer
don't-
that person back.
Don't just say hi. Don't just be like hi.
Yeah. so-
Hi.
Where are you going with this? Like,
Yeah, I hate when people are like, hi, or like, sorry, I actually don't really like when people are like, hey, I have a question. I'd rather you just ask me the question
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the same message. Because it's like, really?
The mind clear approach.
I also like recently got a text message from some random is like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, hi, just at work. And he's like, yeah, what you working on? I'm like, some stuff. Who is this?
Yeah,
He's like, oh, I have your like,
he name
I have
some
your,
random
like,
show, and he was like, "Is this your work?"
he gave like a handle, and he was like, oh yeah, I just have your card for your business card from like one of the conventions. So what you working on? I'm like, no, I'm not going to answer you anymore. That's
Take 'em out
creepy.
back.
Hey,
Yeah, no.
also don't text message people. Use public chatter,
Yeah.
please. It's awkward. Don't do that. Or email. That's also not as bad.
I've
Don't
been
text their phone.
And then, like the day after, one of your accounts got hacked. It was like,
Yeah, someone tried to get into my Instagram. I'm like, nope.
no, no.
change password.
Dude,
Password.
that one guy came in and like DM'd me out of nowhere and is like, hey, I like your thumbnails. How you make your thumbnails? I was like, I just sent him a link to a YouTube tutorial. I'm like, this will teach you everything you need. He's like, oh, okay. So how
Yeah.
are you today? Block?
So what are you
Nope.
doing for dinner tonight?
not this.
So-
Block.
I'm in your living room. What? I'm in your living room now.
I like how you do your drapes. That's how the window. No.
I really like your.
That's a nice
all
shirt
my-
you're wearing.
Jesus, Judas.
Jesus, Judas.
Judas.
Judas
Oh.
Priest.
Good God.
Lordy.
It's so good.
That was,
Oh man.
yeah, so that was a little impromptu lesson on how to talk to professional,
Yeah.
even if you're also a professional.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I had to give this note yesterday for all new artists. Please don't name yourself a studio or a production. I had to explain that to people because like I'll check people's stuff and they're always like, someone, like Brian Miller production. I'm like, you're not a studio. That's just like a protest.
Yeah,
Like,
unless you
Don't put studio
legitimately
or productions.
unless
Yeah.
you legitimately have a DBA or an LLC, don't do that. It's weird.
Yeah, it makes.
Even
Well, it also
DBA is
makes you
not
look.
really-
Yeah, it just makes you look like a rookie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just like,
Yeah.
This is
because we were told that in college. I was like, yeah, like I never did that. Like I was never like Nic Parris Productions.
I did have a
It sounds
DBA,
awesome,
but it was my DBA. It was a legitimate DBA that I paid for with with the government, and it wasn't my name. So, yeah, if you're gonna do it, but don't just say it is and then not actually be a real thing.
Yeah.
Do you like designs that use animation shipping templates? Oh, really?
Oh,
They're doing
that's
designs
funny.
and they use animation shipping templates.
that's funny. That is funny.
Oh no! And then Bert
No,
and
no.
B said Rebecca Sugar actually wrote them back, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them, sometimes if they're not answering you, it's not because they don't think you're worth their time. It's because they don't have the time. Like,
Yeah,
it's don't get blown off by them and think, oh, it's just because they're high and mighty. Literally, these people work till they drop onto their
yes.
their desk. Like
Yeah.
some of these, especially showrunners, and especially like pre-production.
Showrunners,
So-
pre-production, like directors,
I mean,
they're all
animators too.
constantly working all the time.
Yeah. Constantly. And when they're not working, they're thinking about working and stressing out about working and stressing out about deadlines and this, that, and the
Yeah,
other,
Nick.
and budget and stuff. Yeah, Nick. Meanwhile,
Oh, crap,
then
I got a
they're like,
deadline.
well,
You're drawing a
Quitting
storyboard
time.
right now, aren't you?
time to play a video game for 5 hours.
I see your.
I do have a deadline right after. It is on.
Nick, how's
Ooh,
that
I just
comic-
missed the deadline.
Nick, how's that comic strip going?
Ah. Dude, writing comics is so much harder.
Cody, don't be
Like,
mean.
Oh, that reminds me. If you want to get bonus points with artists that you like and they have personal projects, ask them about their personal projects.
Oh,
They
yeah.
like that. It makes them happy and it makes like their free time is worth something. Do
Well,
that.
Yeah.
I mean, but also
without being
sometimes-
intrusive.
The implication, I feel like there can be an implication there that the next step is, oh, can I work on your personal project with you?
Yeah. that's what Ren-
Like, well,
I mean, has anyone bothered Nicole? Like, hey, can I help? Like, has that actually happened or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
that
I think it
maybe,
depends.
maybe this is just my personal experience.
I think that might be your personal.
Oh, really?
experience.
That's just one. Can I help you?
No.
What kind of stuff are
Go
you doing?
away.
Oh, I got this idea and that idea. That sounds cool. Let me know and I'll help you on it. Like,
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah.
Oof.
I know, yeah.
No.
No.
I opened Harmony one time.
That's
That
my
one time I
experience with
clicked it-
Harmony. That's how I do it.
That one time I clicked it by accident and closed it immediately.
I opened Harmony.
I thought it was Spotify.
Yeah, that big old blue H totally looks like that round green circle with the line.
Christina, Nick's a storyboard artist. He doesn't know what real Harmony is. He just he just clicks on storyboard pro.
I storyboard in Toon Boom all time. So,
All time. I mean, technically you could. I don't know why you would, but you could.
And
I
it's
use
good
Corel
Harmony.
Draw for my storyboards.
Corel.
MS Paint all the way.
Dude, did you guys? I think Nick brought it up, or maybe Nick saw it, but the guy who like did a whole animated scene in
I saw that.
in story.
I
That was
saw
amazing.
that. It was a chick. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Pro. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah, I commented it to her too. I was like, open Storyboard Pro, saw awesomeness, closes Storyboard. I was like, no, I'm good.
And that's how we're
So
doing today.
nuts. So nuts. If you ever want imposter syndrome,
Just
That kind of reminds me of people who do
hit
character
Harmony if
animation.
you're gonna do that.
People
It's
who do character animation in After Effects. I'm like,
Ugh.
oh.
dude, so
Ouch.
nuts.
But weirdly enough, Archer
I'm
does
not
it
going
all.
to talk crap about After Effects. I love After Effects, but
After
that's
Effects,
not
After Effects
really
is
what
wonderful
it's
for what
meant
After Effects is
for.
meant for.
Yeah.
After Effects is
I
meant for
actually
comp.
I actually animated a show in After Effects for a web show. It was torture.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it sounds like it.
And it was
Perfect.
because the guy like
Painful.
Archer. He
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we gotta do it like Archer. I was like, no.
No. Honestly, personally, for me,
jeez.
working in
The
Flash
pain.
is torture, but I guess it's dead now, so yay.
Well, animate's still going.
I saw that headline and I'm like, no, this is they say this every year. They're like, Flash is dead. No, Flash is not dead.
They just changed the name, dude.
I know.
Flash is
Well,
dead. Now we got Flim from.
Like, animate has its purpose, and it shouldn't be character animation. That's all I'm going to
Ross.
say about that.
Draw says we've got a guy on our team who's been boarding in Photoshop and just importing the frames into SB Pro.
Why?
Why?
They finally had to sit down with him. Oh my god.
That actually made a shiver up my spine of like pure dread and anxiety.
You want to hear worse? There is a friend of mine who decided to do a whole sequence for Trolls in Flash and imported each frame into Storyboard Pro.
You want to hear
What?
something else?
Yes.
No.
I found out through Rad C. Crisis Twitter, the guy who made Kipo, that he does his storyboarding in Procreate.
What?
Oh.
He imports it in
Yeah.
Procreate. Which I mean,
Why?
I mean, you could
dude,
I guess you could export it as the frames, but still, that's.
yeah, like do
That's
your own
nasty.
thing, but that's crazy to me. Like that just
Well,
seems,
I mean,
sucks is
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
I also have to remind myself that before I started getting better software and equipment, I was kind of using the most random programs to
Oh,
do things they
yeah.
weren't meant for.
yeah.
But if you're in a studio, if you're already hired at a studio, why are you like
Yeah.
just use the most efficient software? Just learn it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, here's
Also,
the thing,
time to
drops for
learn.
fun. I agree with the file management. I just don't think it's meant for what professionals are used for. But
Yeah.
it's okay. It's the fact that it just constantly saves is nice. Is because I've
Yeah.
had it just crash on me in the middle of painting some big ass thing, and it's just like popping up. It's like, hello, everything's here. I'm like, thank you,
To be
Procreate,
fair-
for
Yeah.
being
to be fair,
$10
Rad-
and amazing.
Rad did say he likes it because he can just take his iPad with him wherever he goes and just board on the iPad.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
the mobile, like the Walker Mobile Studio Pros are up there, and they're
Yeah,
also
yeah.
a lot heavier than an iPad. So.
Yes.
But what sucks is like you can storyboard in Photoshop. It's just everyone needs to use the same software, whatever you're going to storyboard in. The problem is when down the line someone has to fix your stuff,
Yeah.
you screw them over.
It's the
Which is why I'm
So, like,
curious as why
Yeah.
I'm insanely curious as to how the TDs for Arlo managed to not go insane unless they are going insane, because apparently when COVID happened, Arlo was being animated in whatever program people had.
Yeah.
which sounds like a hellscape for technical directors.
You just need
And I
Try and
believe
fix.
Borno actually told us that, right?
Yeah,
Didn't Borno?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Borno. Yeah.
Borno's here. He told us. He was like,
just,
yeah.
You just need 35 TDs constantly working around the clock with IV
just
coffee
sounds-
drips.
Just the idea that like, so what do the TDs do? Buy all the programs that everybody used, because that's like there's at least 3 or 4 programs I can think off the top of my head that they could have used to animate.
I mean,
That's
some of them
terrifying.
are free and free trials.
No, all the ones I'm thinking of that are industry quality are not free, with the exception of Clip being cheaper but not free.
30-day free trial.
So you can't do a movie that you can't do all your shots in 30 days.
Challenge accepted. Leave. I'm out.
Alligator.
Oh my god.
Challenge accepted.
Actually, Sketchbook
Just like
Pro.
me.
I could see that being done in Sketchbook Pro.
Oh,
I could
okay,
see
cool.
that.
But they don't use it anymore. Oh. Oh, cool.
I was a hardcore Sketchbook person for a long time, and then I realized that I could do more stuff with Photoshop brushes, and I'm like, never mind.
When I was in college, we had one professor who was a die-hard Sketchbook
That's
Pro
true.
guy, to the point where he was like, "Hey, I want you all to use Sketchbook Pro in all your projects." And
I
was like,
loved Sketchbook Pro.
I was like, "Okay, get home, open Photoshop, open Clip." Just no.
Yeah, like I used it until I learned Photoshop better, and then I went back to Photoshop.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the more powerful stuff of Photoshop. And once I did, now like I guess Magma is a good equivalent of Sketchbook Pro. Magma feels very Sketchbook Pro-y, so I feel like I feel like I can use it well enough because I did Sketchbook for so many years.
Yeah.
I'm
I
still
used to do
mad
a lot of
about
animation.
Pro.
And, sorry.
And no one could use
No,
it.
go for it.
I used to do a lot of animation in an old program called Plastic Animation Paper,
Ooh.
and I don't think anyone else really is
I've never
using
heard
You're
it.
of
like
it.
the only person.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like,
As-
what is that?
See, you bring
Yeah,
up
they were naming it after cell sheets, and
Yeah.
so they just.
Oh,
called
I thought it was a
Plastic
Gorillaz
Animation
album.
Draws, sounds like Draws knows it.
Paper. Yeah,
Draws
That
for
was
fun knows it.
plastic.
they recently came out with a new version of it. I think it's just called Animation Paper or something like that.
Is it
now.
still free?
I think it's still free. I think so.
There you go.
Or if it's not, then it's really like super cheap.
The very first animation software I ever used was called Pencil. It was just called Pencil. It was real basic. It had like a layer limit. It had like a really crude like drawing tool. It didn't have great drawing tools that I can remember. But I remember I got it because someone was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't buy Flash for Flash animation to do my stick figure fights, so I use Pencil." It was like the most awful animation experience I can remember.
Draws, yes, we're older.
Dinosaurs up in here.
Dinosaur, yeah, I'm old, dude. My animation was $80. Wow, okay, the big time. All right, but still, that's
good.
cheaper than Harmony. It's
Yeah.
cheaper than Harmony
It
and
was
Animate.
good.
So there
That
you
might be
go.
something.
That's way more
Big
expensive than I thought it was, though. But yeah.
Yeah, it's higher than I thought.
But
it
I know
would
they
be, too.
added a lot of stuff. It's more. I think it's more vector now.
Interesting.
My first animation program was Mirage, which is what TV Paint was years and years and years ago. I was using Mirage, and then from Mirage I went to Harmony. After it took Ben a while to wean me off of TV Paint, but eventually I went to Harmony after that, and I haven't looked back. So mostly because Harmony keeps adding useful things.
TV Paint is cool. I've always been a Toon Builder.
It's not a bad program. It really isn't. It's still a perfectly functional program. It just doesn't do vector, and it's in that way it's limited with modern Western quick animation mentality. But you can do some really nice stuff with TV Paint, and it had tools that Harmony still doesn't have. Harmony is now just getting the tools that I loved using in that program, and it's like 10 years since I've used it. So
Harmony is great for frame by frame, but TV Paint was always kind of designed specifically.
it was designed for frame by frame. Harmony is just now caught up to what TV Paint could do like 10 years ago, as far as like raster hand drawn, in my opinion. So
I can't get to grips with Harmony. I feel sketching feels more natural to me in Clip or TV Paint. I'm kind of the same way. Like,
Bert, try setting
Bert.
your.
see me in my Twitch stream next time. We'll talk. I'll help you. It's fine. I'm going to
Try setting your
self-promote
layer
now.
to,
I work in Harmony.
Set your layer to bitmap, and it'll feel a lot more natural.
Also, what Juko said.
Those two are literally like constantly like representing Toon Boom all the time.
Yeah. And then, you know,
Yeah.
Vert, just hear me out. Get good. No, okay.
No. Cody's counting those boom.
What
I
really
know.
helps me is
People
I
always
like
say
to-
that to me.
I like to put my tablet next to my face. And I draw like this and make good on it.
It's so natural.
It's true.
I just take off my.
It's true. Like I
Christina's
become one with the canvas.
I mean, I feel more natural when I just, you know, take off my pants and I'm like, yeah. A lie.
What are your thoughts?
I actually
on
have Harmony
Renderman?
up right now. I haven't drawn it.
I'm
Thoughts
Renderman?
on RenderMan?
I'm assuming they
Like-
mean like the rendered farm software or whatever, and not like the guy who is Superman, but he's really good at making things come out fast.
Aborno, yeah. Asset reusability, definitely. Harmony, the stuff they added with Harmony in the last two iterations, so 17 and 20, put it for me pretty much on par with TV Paint at this point as far as raster. So I would say that they're equal now, and then Harmony has all the other stuff it can do on top of that. So, but yeah.
Yeah, Ray, you bring
As far
up
as
a-
RenderMan, that's more 3D oriented,
Mhm.
so I'm not as closely following it.
I don't have a lot of good knowledge. We're all like 2D hand drawn people.
Yeah,
I do mess around in ZBrush, but that's like wildly unrelated to RenderMan.
yeah. I'll watch any animation, but my heart will always be in the 2D space. I love that style so much more. But Ray's is bringing up Blender is a good 2D and 3D software, and it's free.
Mhm.
Yes,
Blender has 2D.
Blender.
I have
has
not.
done some-
I downloaded it.
Blender's done some nutso stuff in the past 15 or so years that it's been like growing and getting more and more popular. It's insane.
Yeah,
what
I
Blender
did
can do.
download it. I haven't tried it yet though.
Yeah. I always,
It's
feel
probably
like
due for an update.
I always feel like I just need to have Blender on my computer for whatever the day happens that I eventually just like, okay, yeah, I'll make stuff in this now.
Blender's
put it on
getting
my-
a lot of use these days. A lot of
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
I
work
put it on
from
my mobile studio, and I still haven't touched it. Just left it there to rot. I'll get it eventually.
And I'll say the TDs at Disney, you know, we've taken notice of Blender. Like all this good artwork and animation coming out that's made with Blender, like we're noticing that. We're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Ben, didn't you try OpenTunes once? Didn't someone we know try
OpenTunes?
OpenTunes?
I have
No, but I followed Harmony's, or not
You
Harmony, but I
Oh, yeah.
followed some like tweets about it and stuff. I'm interested in it.
I have OpenTunes, and from somebody who remembers very little about working in Harmony, because it's been so long for me. OpenTunes, like as far as the drawing and the sketching, feels pretty similar. But there is like some pretty obvious differences in like kind of how the timeline feels, how some of the layers act. And I also haven't found like some crazy node-based system like Harmony has in OpenTunes. Which for the life of me,
The
I
node
could-
base has got though.
for the life of me, I could spend hours drawing and drawing and drawing. The moment you open up that web of nodes, my brain is going to implode and I'm going to die.
The node view is your lord and savior, though.
I know.
I mean, Christina used to say the same thing too.
I did. The reason it took me so long to switch from TV Paint to Harmony was because the node view scared the piss out of me.
Yeah,
But now, like,
the node view,
it's
the
not
node
so
view.
bad, and you should you should eat your broccoli, Cody. Who knows? Maybe you'll like it, but I don't like broccoli. But maybe you will.
Like honestly, like
Your broccoli, Cody.
once I did learn a node view, I actually am dysfunctional without it now because it's really hard to do things. Like the timeline just doesn't cut anymore as far as comping. The node view is your king.
I remember like the thing that got me the most of like the node view thing was somebody like there was the Grom Night episode of Owl House from this year. You know, the one everybody loved. The shot with Amity and Lumini like right as they're dancing, whatever, like it had that huge drastic change in like the lighting and everything and the style and everything. They showed like a before and after of like what they got back from overseas and what happened after compositing and like the final TD like thing. And one of the other TDs like dropped down below it and just said node view. And I was like, this is what it can do.
That's my girl Bessie.
Yeah, that's our buddy Betsy. She did all
That's
that.
my girl Vasila. She
Oh my
is
God.
absolutely amazing. I met her 2 years ago almost at a Nickelodeon Harmony. But Ben and I were doing a Nickelodeon Harmony workshop, and she came to us. She had seen my tutorials on Harmony's website, and she was just like, she was at Shadow Machine or Shadow Box at the time. And later that year, I met her again when I was doing portfolio reviews at CTN, and we both like did the girly scream at each other and hug and all that crap, which probably was wildly unprofessional, but I was really excited to see her. But her portfolio was immaculate, and she was doing the stuff she did for Grom Night at that point before she had gotten into Disney, so she already knew how to use that. That was called that was the what's it called? Light shader system? Shader system? I forget. It's got a name.
Volumetric lighting.
Volumetric lighting system in Harmony. So she already knew how to do that before she got into Disney. But yeah, the volumetric. There's a couple different ways you can do volumetric lighting in Harmony. That's like the one that Harmony promotes as the best way to do it, because it actually gives you a light source and gives you normals on your flat 2D artwork. It's a cool little system. If you can figure out ways to make it useful, it can really make animation pop. And Grom Night is the perfect example of how you use your node, how you use the node view in Harmony to make some beautiful, stunning lighting that was otherwise a flat 2D animation.
Yeah.
What are those little knickknacks, little cutout art pieces that you can put in the oven and then they like inflate?
Shrinky dinks.
Shrinky dinks.
Or I think shrinky dinks are the other way. They go smaller. They're bigger and they go like, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that concept where Toon Boom looks at your two-dimensional artwork and it imagines it as like inflating sort of from the middle, and you can control.
Yeah, you have like a bevel that you can control.
You can tell it like, okay, this part I want to like have receding a little more or whatever, but and then you can sort of control the amount of bevel and the direction of the light.
Yeah, and like I said, you do have a legitimate light source that you're controlling the height of that light source as well. So it's a thing.
You guys just reminded me of like so early in like my learning how to draw career when I had like Photoshop CS5 right before they went subscription based, and I had it on my computer, and like I remember I was watching some tutorial online that I should not have been watching. It was not a good one, but they were like, yeah, for my highlights I just use a bevel filter, and I was like so I was like, oh, I should copy that.
Dear Lord.
Oh my god.
Aborno, 17 was a very strong update, probably one of the strongest updates they had, and 20 is a little bit smaller than 17's update, but it put a lot of good stuff in it. So 17 and 20 definitely are good updates for Harmony.
You guys were talking sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
I was gonna say, you guys were talking the other night about how they cleaned up a bunch of the code in Harmony to make it like a lot more functional.
That was 20, I think, was the big code cleanup. So it has a smaller footprint on the computer now, because they hadn't really touched the code in Harmony for quite some time.
Right.
So I think 20 had a big beefy like update to the guts of the program, and they added a few quality of life like drawing tool stuff and things like that. Yeah. So like I said, Juko and I work a lot in Harmony, especially on our streams. So if you guys have any questions and you're looking to get into 2D animation, hit us up on Twitter or hit us up on Twitch. So I'm always looking to help and teach. So that's my spiel. Like, Cody, you were saying something.
No, that was gonna make the Harmony thing. But I'm also just now realizing that we've been live for 2 hours.
Yeah, we have.
I didn't realize how long we've been talking for.
Wow.
I don't think we're gonna have enough content.
It turns out it turns out if you get the four of us together, we can ramble on for literally ever.
We already ramble.
I know. Shut up, Nick.
What did you think was gonna happen? I didn't even know that was an issue.
I thought I didn't know, man. I thought eventually we were gonna run out of stuff. We always talk though. Okay, well, in that case, I have to be at work in just under 2 hours. Yeah, I know. My day job, which, by the way, if you want to save me from my terrible, horrible day job, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Do the something.
Yeah, do all the things. Help me out as much as you can.
Get a GoFundMe for saving Cody from his day job.
Yo, 200 bits from Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Hey.
Hell yeah, that's a start. Vert followed. Thank you for the follow, Vert. But yeah, this is gonna be the final animation talk show for the year. We'll be coming back into it next year. At least I will.
Cody and Dodie,
Oh my God.
Daddies
Holy
Incorporated. We've got the daddy for you.
Bajillions.
Oh, Christina did
Cody
5.
and
Okay.
Dodie,
Jesus, I gotta
Daddies
mute the alerts. Oh, God.
Incorporated. We've got the
So
daddy for you.
Oh God, how do I
Surprise!
mute the alerts? Oh no. Is it?
You have to just hide it if that's what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, you can mute it or hide it. I mean,
Okay.
you're using elements, right? Just tell
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
this, shut up.
Yeah, oh my God. The podcast version of this is gonna be like, ah. Oh my
I ruined
God.
your podcast. Haha.
No. Assuming I didn't already ruin it.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming by. Let me know if you want me to try and convince these guys to come in for more talk shows, because this is a lot of fun. I'll probably have to
Actually, what's kind of
I have to be a better moderator and make sure things don't go on for 2 hours, but it was a good time. Everybody, thank you all for coming by. I'm going to end it here. I appreciate it. Everybody say thank you to Nic, Christina, and Ben for being here and also having a good time.
Having a good time.
Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.
Wait, we're not doing Queen?
Oh, Borno, I can't go on for longer than 2 hours, man. I got a job to get ready for.
Oh shit, we got a
Jesus.
hype train.
Oh my God,
We got a
wow.
hype train.
Oh no, I've
Hype
never gotten the hype
train.
train before. Oh, Nic also did 5 subs. You guys are just the best. I love my friends.
We just like battle now. The rest
so
of like Cody can't go to work.
We have to keep the hype train going.
Every
Cody
time
got a
smart
hype
subs
train.
get handed out, you just get a pissed off expression and glare at the other person.
Battle.
Uh,
I just
Battle
give just
bitch.
6 subs.
Ben
How
and
about you?
Christina, like Nic stops and Ben and Christina are just fighting themselves, even though it's coming out the same time.
I just drain our joint bank account entirely. It's empty. Well, back to living in that cardboard box under the 5 freeway.
Oh,
Nacho, you're not eating anymore, Nacho. I'm gonna eat you.
Tasty.
Nah.
oh my God.
All right. That was fun, though.
All right, we're wrapping it up. Everybody, goodbye. Don't you guys gift me any more subs, you animals. All right, everybody, thanks
Giggle.
for coming by. Peace.
Yep.